Hey, Goshik.
How's it going, man? How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Can't complain. Just chilling, chilling.
I had a really good discovery call, but I've had those before.
How are your things getting better in terms of your sales calls or
Um, yeah, I've had good discovery calls. Sales calls I've only had this month. I don't even know. I think four.
four?
Um,
No, that's not bad.
four demos um out of 12 discovery calls,
Okay. It's not bad. Not bad at all.
and then
Um,
tomorrow will be 5 out of 12 if he shows up.
okay. Yeah, we can delve deeper into the numbers. But okay. Jeremy, Jason, hope you guys are doing well.
Allah,
You look like you're like in an airplane right now.
I'm on the bus.
Ah, gotcha. Cool. All right, guys, we'll go and get started then. I think first we have Rodarte. Um,
Yep.
so did you like was there a specific question that you had for me? Did you get a chance to check out my answer to your
Yeah, I listened to the voice note. I haven't read the comments on Loom yet.
okay, cool. Um cool.
Um,
Yeah, what'd you want to go over?
I mean that's all I really have to be honest. And I wasn't really I know the leads dry have leads dried up. I know what to do. I was That's just me letting you know what's going on. Not really asking
Okay,
like hey coach, what do I do? I already know. Just letting you know.
cool.
Um, but yeah, they're just they're getting more expensive, which I kind of figured would happen. Um, Yeah, so they went up from to like four in the 40s, so now like they're $54 a lead, which is still good.
So in October you've booked 18. 18 booked. And then so
What do you mean booked?
um so 18 people have booked a call with you.
Yes, 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 sorry.
Okay. And then you've had 12
Yeah.
live discovery call. Out of those, how many agreed to a sales call?
Let me tell you right now. Um, it's not that easy to tell. I gotta look in the conversation and see like when was what month.
Mhm. It's okay.
Um,
Take it.
okay. Uh, well, I know that so the question is of the 12, how many agreed to the sales meeting?
Yeah.
So that's four right there. So that's another eight that were no shows.
Yeah. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out like the people that said yes, the people that said no, and out of the people that said yeah, which one was no show, which one did show up. That's kind of I'm trying to break it all down.
Okay, so the yeses were one. Here's a no show. Two. I think I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for this. I don't know how to easily figure out which ones were from October.
Okay. It's all right.
Kenny York said, sorry, I know you can't read on the reading. Sorry. Um,
So how many no shows have you had?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. What were no shows?
Oh, okay.
One, two, three, four. There's four so far. Um, four, and then one that I ended. That was the guy that was like on the. He held me on Zoom, like just talking for like 15 minutes on the phone.
I would consider that a show.
Okay, well then five, then what's I'm saying, like four no shows, and then that guy that I just I ended.
Okay, four no shows and then five shows in that case. Um, okay. So how many sales calls do you have that you haven't had yet?
Um, I have one.
Okay. So I'm counting five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. So that's 10. So you had basically 10 people that said yes to a sales call, which means most likely two people said no to a sales call, right?
Yeah, one guy was actually local to me, and yeah, he's the one that wanted me to do it for free, basically.
Mhm,
And I was like, no, you responded on a voice note
mhm.
last week, I think it was.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so 18 people have booked a discovery call with you. 12 of them you had live discovery calls. 10 of them said yes. Two of them said no. Out of the 10, five showed up. By the way, this is normal, right? So you should
Yeah.
have about a 60% show up rate. So if you have 10 people that say yes to a sales call, about six out of those 10 should show up. So not all of them are supposed to show up. So four
Okay.
people show up, five did, one still. So yeah, dude, your numbers are good. Your numbers are
Yeah.
everything's very normal. Um,
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for the next close. It just kind of like, I don't know, like when there's a lull, I try not to like, fall into despair and be like, oh, like what's going on? But like today, it was a great call, and the demo call's scheduled for tomorrow. I'm pretty confident he'll show up. And it's just like, oh, that's all it takes, man. It's just like one opt-in, one call, like it's all good.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's just
So I'm back to being optimistic.
good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything that's jumping out at me. Your cost per book call, $80, $60. We do need a column on the left, which is like totals and averages. We
Okay.
could tweak up some of this stuff, right? So like this stuff doesn't apply.
Right.
So we can go and get rid of this. Delete row, discovery call, cost per sales meetings booked, cost per sales meeting booked. So below live sales calls. You can say if you want to have like no show, you can have a no show. Calls to be had still. I mean, I don't know if we can get rid of this one actually. I mean, for me, I go overboard. Like the more data,
Yeah.
the better. Um,
And the no shows are for demo calls, right? Not discovery calls.
no shows, sales call. So yeah, you could do no shows for sales calls as well.
Okay.
No show discovery call, boom. So like having that could only help you. Um, so equal sum parentheses, boom. And then what we can do is we can have this is a
Dang.
number Some parentheses. So, so it should be 18. It's a little bit high, isn't it? Am I going crazy here? So
I'm sorry.
your cost for discovery call is $200 last month? Is that
Uh,
right?
yeah, because last month was horrible. Remember, I had like the 2 months of nothing, or 2 weeks rather.
Oh, I see.
I think
She
it was like maybe more than 2 weeks of just nothing.
okay. So yeah, this is so yeah, I feel like your cost per book call should be around this right here. Probably $80. So once you like this is way too high. So you gotta stay
Yeah.
on we want to make sure we stay on top of that.
This is my best month already. Oh, well, because one, I got an acquisition, but two, like I'm already at, I mean, sales calls, I'm already at 4,
Mhm.
and it's not this barely the middle of the month.
Okay, so yeah, your cost per sales call should be around 250, 300. This is like super expensive. So, okay, cool. This is good to know, right? Like look at these numbers, like this is
Yeah.
what things should stay like, right? Versus this stuff right here. Very expensive last. Okay, cool. But yeah, man, I guess like in terms of questions for me, what questions do you have for me? Overall, your numbers look healthy, everything looks fine there. What question do you have for me aside from like what we went over in terms of voice notes?
I don't think anything. I mean, main thing is just like getting this client. He hasn't even accepted the Slack invitation. Like, he hasn't done anything.
Just walk me through your overall experience from like A to Z, any like notable, like I guess like the notable moments, and then if there's something that jumps out at me, I can kind of share with you, in case there's like a red flag or something.
You mean from like the discovery call till now?
We can start. I mean, if you want to start there, you can start there, or if you want to start the sales call, it's up to you.
Sales call went pretty well. Like, he was late to it. Like, I actually had to text him. He wasn't responsive, and then I called him. I texted him like right at the time, say, hey, hey Rich, I'm on the Zoom now, ready when you are. And like, I left about 5 minutes, and then I went ahead and called him, and he was like, oh shoot, like, okay, yeah, I'm going there right now. So I waited for him, and which I was glad I did, because I almost thought like, oh no show, like, but no, I was able to close him. Um, so that was a lesson in itself. But anyway, um, I ran through it. He does pretty well right now. He gets like, he's at 250,000 a month. He would like to get 150 a week, which is like, I mean, a little intimidating when I heard that. It's just like, damn, you know.
Yeah.
So so anyway, like I was going through and I felt kind of silly because the demo's talking about like these guys are making like now like they're making like 30, an extra 30,000 a month, and that's like nothing for him. He's like, you know, so I even said like, I know this is my main Spencer, who's my success story there. I said, I know, this is nothing compared to what you're doing, but this is one of our best success stories nonetheless. Like,
I wouldn't have said that. Definitely don't
yeah,
say. Yeah, don't say that.
yeah. Well, I just felt silly because he was like looking at, like, I don't know, looking at me bragging about 30,000 a month, from when he first joined. So I said that, and then I was like, yeah, but this is a big one of our huge success, and here's why. Because now, he's able to, hire new techs. He's working on his own business part time. Him and his wife enjoy each other's time now, and like all that stuff. And then I just kind of said, I know you don't care about this, and I kept, basically dropped it with the I can show you all the social proof I want to, but the bottom line is, what you want to know is, does it work? And I started going in through that, and
So, so pause before you continue. Again, you read the room and read who you're having a conversation with. Instead of saying like, hey, this is one of our best clients, what you want to say is like, hey, look, I wanted to share this number with you because I like to be very conservative. I know that your numbers are you're at 250,000 and we're trying to get you to 600,000, but hopefully you can kind of see a client, an average client that's at about 30,000 is trying to do this. So I just want to kind of lead with this for your case. Literally the only difference between him and you is we would just increase the ad spend. So whatever he's spending, we're probably just going to spend 10 times the amount for you. And the idea is that the same input, the same, you'll have increased input for increased output. So like that's what you have to do. You have to be able to read the room and have ensure you're having the right conversation with the right person. Okay. If you
Yeah.
say that, like that's going to turn them off, right? So just keep that in mind in the future. And then versus somebody that is doing about 30,000, somebody that's doing 20,000, somebody that's doing 10,000, you say, hey, look, I know this guy's doing 30,000 three times where you're at. But this is what we will get you to. And eventually this will seem very average and normal to you, and you're probably gonna end up pushing the goal line. So you have to, again, that's very important. The second thing is something along the lines of I know that you probably don't care about this. I would maybe that's not exactly how you said it, right? You probably said it along the lines of, hey, look, I know that, at the end of the day, this is a story, but what you want to know is you want to know how does this stuff actually work? And so for that, I'm going to get into that. I wouldn't say I know you don't care about this. I wouldn't have said that either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then what that means is you're like wasting his time. You're like, telling him, hey, dude, like I know I'm fucking wasting your time, but let's talk about this. You know what I mean? That's the synonym for it. Um, anyways, continue. So you're having this conversation with them, you go into does your stuff work and then continue?
And then I hit him with the hell yeah, hell no, and he laughs like, yeah, okay, that sounds fair. And then so I just go through it, and then when I give him the price, like there was like a big pause, and he's like, and he tells me that's a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought, like that's I was surprised because I thought maybe it's just overconfidence, but I thought like you're making 250 a month, like I mean I don't think your margins are that narrow where you can't. That's all around possibilities, but anyway, and all this stuff I was thinking, and then I told him like, yeah, I could sense the hesitation um in your voice there. Like what's the issue? And he says, yeah, it's just a lot of money. Um, and in hindsight, I probably should ask him, well, what do you pay for your leads? Or like I would have had that ready as far as like what's the difference for what you pay now, basically, I think anyway. So I said,
Really?
I sense
Hold
the
on, hold
hesitation in your voice.
on. Hell yeah, hell no. Pop quiz. When do you say that now? We shifted when we say that.
Um, why now I said that right before I get the bottom line, the price.
Exactly. You don't say it before the demo. We say it right before the bottom line.
Yeah. But I
Um,
said it at the start of the demo. So there's a lot of time between then and there.
so moving forward, just make sure you do that. Do you think he was lying about his revenue, or do you think it was true?
I think it was true. I mean, he has two locations. I saw him on Google Maps. It's a pretty nice like setup he has as far as like the his building. On one of the locations, he's got trucks lined up. He's got a team.
So why do you think he said that's expensive? Why do you honestly think he said that?
Oh, they meant his income.
Yeah, I meant his income. Do you
I
think it's true? If it is true, then why do you think he said that's expensive?
I don't know. I mean, I think the answer is probably like he didn't fully believe that this will work because I think like if he knew this would work, there would be no there wouldn't have been an issue. He wouldn't have done a trial even. So that's the answer I think you're looking for. But
I'm not sure. This is one of those that I'm genuinely just curious what your thoughts are. I'm curious what's brewing in your head.
um, yeah, man, I don't know. That threw me for a loop too. It's like, oh, like how is this too much for you when you're making 250? Your revenue is 250 a month. But anyway, that's why I said like, hey, I told him I wanted to build some trust with him. I said I want to build some trust with you. So how about $1,000 for 30 days
So
as a trial?
so we're moving there. I haven't gone over that with you yet. I wanted to just like I want to like address every red flag as we progress so you just don't make that mistake again.
Okay.
So why did he say that's expensive? Do you think that there's two things. One, it truly is expensive for him, or two, it's a smokescreen and it's BS. Where he's saying that, but it's actually not expensive for him. Do you think that we've been operating this whole time that we're thinking that what he's saying is true?
I
And
don't
if
think it's true.
so you don't think it's true.
especially since like now like I feels like I'm on the back burner for him. So like if it, I don't know, if I feel like if he were investing, in this, and if it was a big investment, he would be on it. And it's just it's nothing to him right now. It seems like.
So yeah, it could be an uncertainty doubt thing then. So that means
Yeah,
that just about getting better at the presentation, right?
yeah.
What that means. That means like getting better at the presentation, watching more of Cam's calls, throwing in some of those little things that he says.
Oh, and then you know what? So I get to the this is just came to mind. I get to the part of the slide with the app on the phone. I explain that, and then I say, I think what I need to add in there is like a map, a Google map to show them where they are, and like there's like to show like we only will, show these ads in the location where like your service location is basically. But like I went through that and I asked any more questions. He says no. So I went through, and then right before I gave him the price drop, I said, any more questions on the system? And then he said, I don't understand how you're getting the leads.
I don't
Right.
understand.
And then so I said, okay, glad you asked. So I went back and I showed him that we're gonna post an ad advertising his business and his service on social media. And
Show him an actual ad. Like, did you show him an example of an ad?
yeah, in the demo I have on the phone a cutout of or
I
a
don't, by the
screen.
way, whatever Joel Kaplan has with that phone thing, it's not enough. Like, I think you need something like, how you had the 6 or 7 figure machine, and we had an actual thing right below it, which was like, this is the ad. It goes to this page and it goes to this. I think
Yes. Yes, because I think so too, because it's just like that's like the most important part that they want to know how, and it just we just blow over that, and it's just like it just works, and they're like, well, how?
the reason, just so you know, the reason I talked to Cam about this, I didn't talk to you about it. I think the reason for this is because of simply Joel Kaplan and the number of students he works with, and everybody's a beginner and doesn't know what the heck they're doing. So they're relying so much on social proof. It's like 10% like actual, like logical, this shit works versus me. I'm 90%. This is how it logically works, 10% social proof.
Yeah.
So what I said to Cam and what I'm going to suggest to you is you need to revamp that part. You need to like
Okay.
you need to spend like 5 minutes on it. Like you can maybe if you want to write this down or message me for something for Aman's calls and see Aman actually do it. Aman spends like too much time. I watch one of Aman's call. He spends like fucking like 20 minutes on it. But it needs to be a healthy balance between what he's doing versus what you're doing right now. So that's why he what had uncertainty doubt most likely.
Okay. Yeah. So like and I agree, and I've come to that realization, that conclusion, after my last demo call. I was like, it's not, there's not enough there.
You need to really like I know for me, for example, I have this video. Um, um, have you ever seen this video? This video down here?
I
We're
think so.
explaining
Looks familiar, or maybe not. What is this?
Welcome, welcome. Out there. I am super, super excited that you're here and watch this video because I got something very juicy I want to share. This is something we've been working on.
this is the same thing. This is the same thing as what you're presenting. And this takes me, I would say about 6 minutes. And I go all the way from the ad to the opt-in to application and thank you. This is the free video commercial.
After we do that, the ones that are a good fit, right? The ones that are a good fit, we actually get them over to a sales call. And in terms of the sales call, I've got an entire script. Also for the discovery call, I've got an entire script depending on, if they're a business that is running ads, not running ads, has ran ads previously and hasn't had success, right? There's a specific way to.
So this is like way more, and I'm visually showing like every single time, like at the ad, I show the actual ad. When it comes to opt-in page, I show the opt-in page. So you need something like this for your presentation. And then even FAQs, like it wouldn't hurt to have like an FAQ stuff down here. That might be over.
Okay.
It might be overkill. I would add this if you keep running into issues with people saying like, hey, I don't understand this. So I'll go ahead and send this
Okay.
over. If you just want to like check it out.
Yeah, and then so another thing I had was what I just kind of thought was like in the presentation, they don't really know top of funnel, bottom of funnel, right? So um I was trying to explain that to my last demo, and I'm trying to think of like how to ask this.
By the way, really quick before we continue, this guy, and when you said thing of like, hey, this is what I said, what's wrong? If I were you, man, I would practice Cole Gordon stuff.
Practice what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Cole Gordon.
Cole Gordon.
So it sounds to me like maybe you need to revisit this stuff,
Okay.
right? Because what you would have done, right, what you want to do the moment he says, "Oh, that sounds expensive," is, first of all, you have to pace the objection. Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, um, you know, help determine if you're getting a logistical question or an actual objection, help you isolate the objection, right? So you need to isolate the objection. Is it a financial objection? Is it an uncertainty doubt objection? Is it a partner spouse objection? So you need to ask certain questions like, okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, if finances was a non-issue, would you move forward? Or what you can say, I feel like if I were you, here's a better question to say is, okay, so it's too expensive. Okay, so let's price aside on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is like, dude, this stuff is not gonna work for me. I don't want to do this right now, da da da. Versus 10 is like, dude, I'm all in. This 100% makes sense to me. I know exactly how it works. Where are you? They're gonna say something like, oh, I'm a 7. Okay, got it. So you're at a 7. What would it take you to get from a 7 to 10 to just know this definitely is for you and this is the right solution for you? Then he's gonna tell you. He would have told you, like, oh, dude, I don't know where the leads are coming from. I'm a little bit confused on that. Then you revisit it, drill it, then you come back and say, okay, now on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you?
Okay.
So again, I would encourage you to get through lesson 5, and then you can kind of skim through the stuff if you want. So anyways, continue. You were saying, so he said, hey, look, I don't understand how this stuff works, and then you were
Oh yeah.
talking.
So
Oh
so
yeah.
so I went back and went through it, and then, but it was still just like, I think my last demo call I felt silly because I'm like, oh yeah, so he's just like, so I just get a text. I'm like, yeah, on the back end there's this big funnel, which I should be showing them, and they're just like, okay, fucking funnel. So I think what I'm gonna start saying is doing what you're doing, but saying like how we want to get them at the bottom of the funnel, because those are the people we're because I end up I say we weed out the tire kickers, and it's like, well, how are we doing that? It's like, okay, we're funneling them through, right? So it's people opt in, they're a lead automatically, but then there's another step, and once they complete that step, they're down the funnel, and we gauge their interest by how far along they went through the funnel. So if they made it through, like you got a customer, you know?
Yeah. So what I would do if I were you is, again, just visually draw it out first.
Yeah.
So whatever you're going to stick to, again, we still don't know. You're still operating like the 6 figure 6 week where we just draw some shit out and you just present and sell it. Until you have figured out what's actually going to work, you have to continue to do that. So if I were you, I would carve out some time to really do this and have visuals to show, right? Really think to yourself, okay, what would I need to know if I didn't know anything about ads and funnels? And again, I think you should just do lead forms. Just do lead forms and explain how that whole machine works from A to Z. That's what I would do if I were you.
Okay. All
I
right.
think it's easier to explain.
So I guess my question is, so I'm told to, like, do what like funnel hack and see what works, but I don't see many lead forms when it comes to installs. I mean, I'm not saying I haven't seen any, but it's definitely the majority is like a website or a funnel.
Well, we're talking about two different things. We're talking about selling it for now. We're not talking about actual service delivery for now,
I
right?
see.
Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
telling you, just sell lead forms for now. Sell lead forms for now, because otherwise what you got right now is not convincing enough. You need to have something more better. Now, when it comes to actual service delivery, that's you doing all the things I mentioned in the voice note, talking to Riviera, Facebook groups, finding other experts, having conversations with agency owners. That's what you'll figure that out. And what you might come to find is it's like freaking none of the stuff. It's like Google service ads, just like Cam, for example, maybe. But you have to have conversation with those people to figure that out.
Okay. So my question is, how do I bridge it from like saying I'm getting rid of tire kickers when it's just a lead gen form? It's like whoever, like, you know what I mean? You don't understand my question? Like, how do I tell them that?
Well, why,
I'm sorry.
well, why does it, why do you even need to tell them that? Like, why does that even need to be part of your process? I'm just curious. Like, I'm not challenging you as if it's a good or bad thing. I'm just curious, like, what's brewing in your head? Like, what makes you think you have to even say that?
Well, because that's part of my discovery calls. I say, we get rid of tire kickers, and like
Do you feel like that's a good sales point? Like, is that something where like their eyes light up and their voice is like,
yeah,
oh, that's right. Is it?
yeah, yeah.
So in that case, I mean, you can say something as simple as like, you have like the ad, and then from there, there's like an AI automation, which is like having a conversation with them and gets them, booked into like the calendar. And then from there, maybe the business owner has a conversation with this person to confirm, and then they go and then do the estimate or whatever. You can say something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So if this is a good sale, if this is something that makes their eyes light up, you can say the AI bot. The AI bot has a conversation with them to weed out the tire kickers.
Okay.
So for example, the AI is going to ask them, hey, you have to make logical sense to them, right? So one of the questions our AI bot is going to ask them, hey, how soon do you need this thing done? And what we've come to find is if somebody doesn't need this thing done, if they don't respond immediately as soon as possible, then we typically know that they are going to be a tire kicker. However, if we know if they respond, hey, we want this soon, we're typically going to push that over to calendar as soon as possible. Versus the people that say that they need it a little bit later, the AI bot's going to have a little bit of a long conversation to see how detrimental the issue is. And then if it comes to find like, hey, this person is like, it's a want, but not a need, well, then we're typically not going to actually even book them into a calendar, or we'll leave it up to you where you can follow up with them if you want to manually. You can say something like that.
Okay. And I guess I'm asking because now I know more than I did. So Mike, if I was being presented this, my thought is, how do you get rid of tire kickers if it's just a lead gen? Because it's just like an instant lead. Like I'm getting the notification. Like how is this not a tire kicker then?
The
That's
tire kicker is the calendar, right? So you're going to
yeah.
get a bunch of leads, but who's going to get booked into their calendar is going to be only good leads. The tire
Okay,
kickers are not going to get booked in.
got it. Okay.
So, so yeah, so then you had the sales call with them, and then you booked out the onboarding, which you booked out a week later. Walk me through how that went. Walk me through what happened before the onboarding, like that kind of week versus like what happened on the onboarding.
So I made the mistake of just getting off the phone and saying thank you, and basically, that was a call. I said we would be in touch to to schedule your onboarding. And then like the next day, I reached out, said, hey, like, are you available? This was I sold him on a Wednesday, so Thursday I reached out, like, when are you available for onboarding? And I said, or I said, what time Monday works for you on onboarding? And he said, I can't do Monday, either Wednesday or Friday. So I said Wednesday. What time Wednesday? So I scheduled that out, and then uh he actually showed up like 5 or 10 minutes early.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this guy, okay, he cares, or I don't know if he just was overcompensating because he felt bad for like leaving me hanging last time. But
Did you message him before showing up, or did he just like use the automations to know when to show up?
it was automations. It was still I gotta make it so it's so the verbiage is the onboarding, but I used the demo call automations. I said like it's gonna say demo call, but just ignore that. It's onboarding. So okay, no problem. And then so he's getting the 24-hour reminder, the 1 hour, 5 minutes. And so I got a notification he was there early, so I was getting prepared. I hopped on, and then I just kind of went through. Cam sent me something. I kind of just like modified it for myself. It was basically what I used before, but just a little bit more had a little more substance than I did for Allie, my Pilates girl. Um, Cam told me about doing the QR code for the reviews. So I did that for him. It's just on Canva, just put his logo and a QR code. And it's like this, it's pretty bare bones. It's nothing. It's not pretty. It doesn't have to be, but this is something that could boost your reviews. And he's got like 500 something reviews, so he's pretty well on that. But and he was saying he's like, yeah, we got a system. Once they're paid out, we go ahead and ask for a review. I'm like, well, if you do it like while you're there, your reviews would you get more reviews than you're getting now because
Really?
it's
So you haven't got him to fill out the kickoff form yet? Is that right? Is that the issue?
he hasn't done anything.
Aman, when do you get the guys to fill out the kickoff form? Before your onboarding call, right?
Before my onboarding, yeah.
So you want to get them to fill that stuff out before. You want them to go through the kickoff form, give you the access to Facebook, the Instagram, all that stuff. And then when you go do the onboarding, it's a lot of just like mindset, expectations, and all that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then when you said earlier that you schedule onboarding immediately, like on the call, you're scheduling it. So you're just letting them know, like, hey, you have this done before, but but I thought you were scheduling onboarding for the next day.
So what I like to do is the way I do things for me, because I'm doing it more of a done with you, it's the next day. For you guys, you know, for you, are you doing the next day? Or are you doing like 48 hours in between, or what are you doing to get them to do the kickoff form before your onboarding?
So usually I can do it the next day. Because the kickoff form doesn't take that long to fill out. The Facebook stuff can be 50-50. So like if they have a trouble doing all that, then I'll just walk them through it. I think I've just gotten it down where I can very confidently have them share their screen and get me access, and then we proceed with the onboarding. But I make it very clear, like, hey, so we can get started as quick as possible. We do need to fill out this kickoff form immediately before the onboarding. This way we have everything we need to get you in the Slack and start creating your Go High Level account. And then, so the sooner you get this done, the sooner we can start getting things launched. There is a video in here for setting up the Facebook. Do go through that the best as you can. If you have any troubles, just let me know. We can go through it before the onboarding. So this way, when they hop on the onboarding, we just take like 10 minutes to go through all the Facebook stuff, and then we'll continue into the onboarding.
Okay.
I may have it may have been a while. So I did update the onboarding stuff here. So it was very bare bones before when you first hopped in. And then I changed the stuff up maybe like last month. Have you had a chance to go through this, or you haven't had a chance to go through this?
This was updated when?
About-
I haven't looked at it since I onboarded Ali.
Okay, okay, that explains it then. Yeah, this stuff was I put this in about a month ago. So
Okay.
you might want to go through this as a refresher, double speed. But yeah, that's what I'm on one over is pretty much explaining here. You do the sales
Okay, and
call.
this is the onboarding section, obviously. How to onboard a client. Okay.
So you might want to run through that just for the future. So that's now I know what the issue is. The issue is that you just didn't know this and you didn't get him to do what you beforehand. So it's not an issue on it's not necessarily an issue on your end or his end. It's just misinformed. It's just uninformed. So do this moving forward, and I think you'll be fine with future clients.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just getting them the information, getting them to do the homework, and then doing the onboard the day after. And then again, as Aman said, as you get more experience, what will happen is if they run into any tech issues, you'll just take care at the very beginning of the onboarding.
That's where I'm like not confident. I don't want to look like an idiot. Like I don't know what I'm doing. And like, on a live Zoom, like, fuck, I don't know.
It makes me feel better. I just had an onboarding recently, and it took us like 3 calls to figure out the Facebook stuff. They just gave me their email login, and then I had to figure it out because it was just something that like wasn't used to. So I mean, if that makes you feel, and it wasn't like a big deal. It's just like, okay, usually it's like this, so it's just strange that it looks like. So I mean, I don't know if that gives you any peace of mind. I just
Yeah.
So
one thing that I thought about was because I've had discovery calls with people who don't have they're not even on Facebook. So in that case, I'm assuming I would just create a Facebook for them. Like I played off like, oh, that's a minor detail. Like we'll just get you a Facebook.
So really quick, for what I would recommend doing is go through this content as soon as you can, right? So after our call today, go through it again, 20-minute videos, watch them at double speed. You will already know, like 80% of it will sound very familiar to you. And then the missing links, like in terms of what you need to create, like if you need to create the kickoff form and this and that, then you'll go ahead and do that and then get that over to him. So that's what you should do regarding this guy. So go through this stuff so that any missing pieces you'll be good with. You'll know exactly what to create, reach out to him. That's the first thing you need to do. And then your question that you just asked was, I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart right now. What is the question?
About clients who don't have Facebook.
Oh, right.
HVAC.
they don't have a Facebook, personal Facebook, or they don't have a Facebook page, like a
They
Facebook
don't have a
business.
they don't have a Facebook page.
Okay. I mean, yeah, in that case, they would need a Facebook business page. You would need to create it. Um, you would need to create it or they can create it. One or the other.
Okay.
Down the road, again, if you really want to operationalize this, you would have like a course video on it. Like, hey, here's how to create a Facebook page. Here are the posts that you need to be in there, right? I have a video like that within, week 3 of the program.
Yeah.
So you'd create something like that. And if you keep running into that issue. For now, if I were you, I would just manually do it yourself so you don't have to worry about it. And or you don't have them trying to do it and it's a whole thing back and forth. Hey, you need this, you need that. I would just do it for them.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that should address your onboarding stuff. What else you got for us?
As far as in the call, the onboarding call.
I mean, anything else that you want to go over? I mean, I feel like essentially
Yeah.
what I'm trying to get, I just want to solve the onboarding bottleneck for you. I feel like we've solved that for you.
Okay.
What other issues do you have that you want to go over?
I can't think of any. Really,
Okay.
just the onboarding and like, I mean, he hasn't been responsive or like he hasn't seen the email or like done the Slack thing or whatever. So I
Yeah.
definitely have to
So
reach out to him.
you have to reach out to him. Yeah, you're typically gonna bring this up again. Go through the material, man. I think it's gonna help you out a lot
Yeah.
for sales calls. But you're gonna bring that up on your sales call. Like, hey, man, so great. So before you even transact, you go over this with them. Hey, we're gonna do the onboarding, this and that, and we're sending you these links. They say, yeah, okay, great. At the end of your sales call, hey, all right, so I know it's been an hour and a half. You want to grab a coffee, it's fine, but I do need you to view your email and click on this link and get this taken care of as soon as possible. Because if you don't do that, then we can't do your onboarding. We get behind. So I need you to keep an eye out for your email. If not, just sit here. Actually, it'll take me a quick 5 minutes to send this over your way. Again, that's how my calls are. I tell people at the end of the calls, like, hey man, I'm gonna send you some emails. Give me like 10 minutes. You'll have everything you need. So make that part of your process moving forward. You should be good.
Okay.
What else you got for us, man? Anything else you want to go over?
No.
So homework is onboarding call material, get him taken care of, and then 2, refine your sales call with this kind of stuff.
Okay. Was there an Amon's video you're talking about, or is that the same thing? Or
This
the
is
funnel?
like my video, but if Aman feels comfortable, he can share a sales call with you. Aman,
Okay.
so Rodarte is basically doing Joel Kaplan's presentation. You know how there's like literally like one slide with a phone. So he's been doing that for his sales calls, and he literally just had a sales call where he got to the end of it, and he gave him the price, and the guy was like, "That sounds expensive." And then Rodarte's like, "Well, what's the issue?" He's like, "I don't really know how I'm getting the lead yet."
Right.
Yeah, like we
Yeah.
need
Well,
to.
I asked him before I gave him the price.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he basically, and so what I was telling him before you hopped in, I was like, so what Joel Kaplan does is like not enough, and then what Aman does is too much, and so maybe somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And so that,
I can send one over.
so yeah, so if you want to have a look at Aman again, he goes way overboard in terms of explaining stuff, but now you have a healthy idea. If you look at his stuff, if you look at this video right here, then you'll be good. I think doing something like this will be a very healthy balance.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me find one. I'll send it over to you.
Appreciate it, Aman. Yeah, so I got a call, demo call tomorrow morning. I have another discovery call in a couple of hours today. But he wasn't responsive to the automation of like his location, so it's a crapshoot at this point.
We'll see. Okay, cool. Well, if you need anything else for Arte, just let us know, okay?
Okay.
Cool.
Appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna get started on my homework, so I'm gonna hop off.
Cool.
Okay. And then
See
I'll just kind of send you a message to remind you.
Cool. I'll send it
Hey.
over now. Actually.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys.
Okay. Mr. Woods,
You,
how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm living the dream. Are you tired of hearing my voice yet? Like
No,
minute Loom videos and
no, I appreciate every second you put into those. I really do. It shows me you care and, builds into that part of me that wants to do this as much for you as it does for me. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. Appreciate you saying
I
that.
do want to tell everybody, last week when I came on here, you might recall I was very cool and calm and collected, giving my thoughts, and Kaushik kind of lost his head. So he's been sending me all these messages apologizing, and it's just, you don't have to do that, Kaushik, at all. I ended up getting a sale, which hopefully everybody saw, so that's good. And I'm ready. I started watching all the videos. I got through to about minute 38 or 39, maybe 40 on the Joel, what's his name? Kinnaman or
Kaplan.
yeah. So I got through, I didn't get as far as I'd like. I got through to about the 40th minute of that. So I'll finish that off either this evening or in the morning. And I do have another sales call in the morning from the six, I can't ever say that. The first part. And it's the lady who is my friend who owns several yoga studios. I do Google ads for her. So just a quick question. I didn't send you guys the Loom call because I didn't follow any processes. I just basically said, here's what's going on. And I told her in that call, it might be better off for her to wait and let me get this second level figured out, because between the 3 locations she have and all her has and all of her locations, she's making $50,000 or $60,000 a month. Now, I don't want to niche into yoga studios because there just aren't that many of them. But I thought for her purposes, it might be better to just say, listen, I'm going to be better by the time I get through that. So maybe we can talk about doing like a one-off for you there. And she's like, oh, well, maybe I'll do this thing and just level up, with you. And I said, well, we can talk about it, but I'm going to try to politely push her away in the spirit of not chasing every single little dollar like you and I talked about today, Kaushik. So I'm just going to tell her that you and I spoke, and I'm studying and learning this material. And I just think this first level for her really isn't going to work for what she needs. And I'm just going to try to, just get her to be patient and wait for me. And then, like I said, if whatever niche I end up selecting, maybe I can take those principles and apply them to her, because she is my friend and she does have money. So I don't think her spending $2,000 or $3,000 a month is going to be a problem. So it might be just an easy win for me, but I know I don't want to do yoga studios. And the win or the sale that I got was solar panels. I know I don't want to do that. So I'm getting ready. The place I stopped with Joel he was just getting ready to start talking about step 3, which is hire a virtual assistant. So that's where I am in that video. And then, everything else, like, I talked about perhaps a high level view of what's next, how are things, so on and so forth. But you answered all those questions in the voice notes, and the first video, the 2 or 3 videos I watched of you before I got to Joel answered all those questions. So I didn't get to do those this much this weekend because I had to travel to out of town Saturday and Sunday, and I got back late last night. And so, but I'm getting through it now. So, and my calendar, other than the retainer type stuff, is pretty clear going forward. So I look forward to kind of just talking about like what you and I said, just trying, or the thing my friend said to me, do you want to make 70% of 100? Do you want to make 100% of $100 or 70% of 1,000? It just kind of understanding, like you said, I got to take some steps back to step forward. And the whole thing you gave me, I take all these notes because I used to have a memory like a steel trap, not anymore. But the flipping it, instead of doing ABC and doing CBA, more time on the sales, less on the production. That makes total sense. And like I said in the notes I was sending back to you, in my head, I had it stuck in my head that, all this time is going to be consumed with, even if I brought in my friend to do sales, I'm going to have to make all these videos and all these funnels. How am I going to have, I completely forgot that that's a templated thing where you're just swapping out stuff. And when you said that that clicked in my mind from when I first signed up for you. One of the things you showed me, and I think before I even committed, you sent me like a 30-minute video on Instagram that showed like, oh, you're going to swap out this dentist picture with this, you know, and that was what made me like, oh, this not only, you know, this cuts down on time, makes the money. It's a tried and true process. So yeah, I'll go back to him and just tell him, give me some time to get through this stuff and learn it. And maybe when I get it down good and simple and I'm ready to kind of have some time off, I can let him go at it for a while. But I'm not kidding you when I tell you the guy can sell anything. And just the fact that he was selling copiers and printers for Toshiba for the last 25 years just boggles my mind. But he was good, man. He was good. He was making six figures with them, and they laid him off not because he was doing anything wrong, but because he was making too much money, and they're not. So that's where it gets, that's why I was like, oh man, I might have a lucky break here. But I understand what you're saying by holding off on that. So yeah, I'm just anxious to get through Joel's thing and then doing that niche calculator. You know, in my head, for whatever reason, before I met you guys, I'm a part of some group called ITEX. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, ITEX. It's a national barter group. And I don't know how to explain it really, but you go in, there's people all over the country and all over the world that are part of this organization. So let's say, Kaushik, you came to me and you're a chiropractor and you want a really nice video done, but I don't need chiropractic services. So they have this like fake money, this fake exchange that you can, I forget what it's worth. It's like every dollar is, if you wanted to buy $1,000, you'd have to pay $60, you know, or whatever. But that money is valued in that exchange at 1 by 1. Anyway, I say all that to say I met with a lady who has a health spa just right up the road from me, and she's making money hand over fist. But she was talking to me about, you know, would you be interested in making some videos and maybe doing some marketing for me, you know, and we just exchange ITEX dollars, or I'll give you some treatments and you can give me videos, whatever you want to do. And she does like all these IV treatments. She does all the semaglutides. She does facial stuff, Botox. I mean, when I walked in there, it literally smelled like cash money. And she, I think, is spending right now about $15,000 a month on Google ads. And so I've heard guys talking about med spas in here. And of course, your examples are about that med spa. In my mind, that lady's been in my head. I don't know her very well, but I thought, man, if I could figure this out, and she had a whole army of people at her front desk answering phone calls, and she may not even need me, but that was very enticing to me. Like maybe that's where I could go. So that's been in the forefront of my mind, but I'll be honest with you, I don't even know beyond that. I think you and I talked about, I do not want to work in a niche where I have to go and nurture their customers. I want them to get the lead and pick it up and go from there. So, you know, it might be more of in a service industry where I go, like my cousin is a very successful plumber. I know if somebody sends him an email, he's going to pick up the phone call. There's no waiting around and trying to do this or do that. He just calls them and goes, you want me to come out and get a quote for you? So that might be more, that's more appealing to me. So I can spend more time in the easier stuff. So, or the more high return, but
Yeah.
once again, I'm rambling, but that's kind of all my thoughts that have been piling up over the weekend. I had a long drive, and it was by myself. So I was thinking a lot over the weekend about all this stuff and what's next and what would I like to do and where could I see myself in a year's time from now and all that good stuff.
Yeah. There's so many different ways to kind of look at this in terms of like what niche you want to go into. I think one part of it is like, hey, how long are you willing to delay, you know, making money versus, hey, I want to make money ASAP. If you
Yeah.
want to ASAP, I would probably go into something that's already been proven, that's already been figured out. So, for example, you know, Mason's doing personal trainers. Amon's figured out med spas. You know, we got different people in different industries that have figured certain things out. So in that case, you know, it's like just going to something that's already been figured out. Like
Yeah, that's that's the other thing that was appealing about the med spa. I saw you had like already existing funnels we could just copy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
So-
really, part of the reason I came to you guys is I don't want to do the trial and error stuff. I think your system is the least trial and error proof thing, or the least trial and error system I've seen. Like the other one I was involved in, I almost said the name. There's a lot of trial and error, and that was so aggravating to me. I came to them hoping they'd be the experts to say, here's what you're going to do. And that's kind of what you guys do. So I want to do something where there's kind of a roadmap already there.
There's two parts to it. Right. There's client acquisition and there's service delivery. And so it's like, you know, if we look at, I don't know what I was going to draw here. I'm having a brain fart today, guys. I'm sorry. Client acquisition, service delivery, and then service delivery, right? So some parts we figured out, and some parts we have not figured out. So for example, for med spas, we have figured out client acquisition, which is like, how do I get the clients, right? So we figured that out. And when it comes to get service delivery, we have a good idea. We're still fine tuning this, but we have a good idea. When it comes to personal trainers, we have figured out service delivery. So Mason has figured this out, service delivery. But in terms of client acquisition, we have not figured that out. When it comes to tattoo parlors, we have figured out service delivery, but we have not figured out client acquisition. So it's kind of like we have figured out certain parts and certain parts we have not figured out. Versus if you did plumbers, for example, let's say you did plumbers, well, we have not figured this out and we have not figured this out.
Right.
So it's really like there's multiple parts to it. And then, for example, Ryan, what Ryan wanted to do is he didn't care. Like he did mortgage brokers. And I don't know anything about mortgage brokers. So I have to help him build this out and I have to help him build this out. But that's just what he wanted to do. He didn't want to go to personal trade. He didn't want to go to tattoos. I think part of it is like he just wants to figure out his own niche and he wants to do the profit share stuff with me. Right. So to be eligible for a profit share kind of deal, where we work together and I don't charge you a single dime and we just split profits, it's got to be a niche that we don't already have somebody already in there. So for example, Amon's got the seat for med spas, right? So if you, for example, said, hey, look, Kaushik, I want to do med spas, great. But you know, we have figured this out. We have figured this out. But then again, there are certain things that are not available. I feel like as I'm saying this, like this is maybe making things more complex.
No, so let me back up a little bit. You said he had the seat. So I obviously I don't want to step on him on, I don't want to step on your toe. Is that something that's part of this group? Is it like, oh, look, this guy's already doing this. You can't, we don't want to get you into that too, because we'd be hurting his business.
So not necessarily, but you are at the liberty of whoever is in that niche. So for example, let's say you did med spas. Of course, like that's like let's say me and again, of course, like Master Filmmaker, right? We're both selling to the same audience. So am I really going to tell Master Filmmaker what I know? Is Master Filmmaker going to tell me what he knows? Probably not. Right. And so in that case, like we do have a great community where people are very helpful. But at some point, there's going to be some information that you're going to be able to get versus some information you're not going to be able to get. And the person that is going to give that to you is going to be Aman, or it's going to be Aaron Soares or somebody else if you want to do med spas.
So they're doing national, I mean, like Aman, you're doing it all over the country. It's not a thing where, because in my head, I'm thinking, well, I'll just do Kansas City, but maybe that's not thinking big enough.
Big enough. If you want to do a niche, it's not thinking big enough. You got to go bigger.
Okay. So, what I'd really love to do is find a niche that, if I wasn't doing what I'm doing, it might be a business that I would be interested in being a part of. So I don't know what that is, but that would be kind of cool.
When we're talking about the partnership stuff, this is what we're talking about. So
yeah, right.
So this is what I mean. So let's say you did, for example, med spas. Well, then, yeah, you can do the med spas and, you can talk to Aman and he'll give you whatever information he feels comfortable giving you. But in terms of this whole thing, the partnership, that's off the table, right? Because again, I have to deal with Aman.
I get it.
So, but that doesn't stop you from doing med spas. So the question becomes, well, do you want to figure some stuff out, or are you in a place where you just want to do something that somebody else has already figured out? If that's the case, so I feel like that's maybe top of mind for you. It's not so much, hey, whose leads do I follow up with versus don't follow up with, because you can build systems for that. I think it's more along the lines of, hey, do you want to make money as soon as possible, or can you wait? I feel like that is most important for somebody like you,
Mhm.
based off of what I've learned from you so far.
I'll do some thinking on it. Like I said, the med spa thing was just in my head because of that lady I met, and because I guess I wasn't thinking big enough. I didn't realize that's something that Amon is doing all over the country. I figured we were kind of staying local to ourselves, but yeah, because there's a lot of med spas in Kansas City. So that's why I was thinking, oh, I'll just market to these guys here. And, if I can get 5 or 6 of them, I'm going to be set.
If you can do that, like there's nothing stopping you, right? So if you said to me, hey, Krishik, you know what, man, like I have the skills. People know me, they know my face, I've got the brand built up. If I talk to these different med spas that are local to me, I know I can secure them. If you feel comfortable with that, then I would say go for it.
Let me
Go
ask
for
you
it.
then, you recall when we first met, I was getting way out over my skis and talking to you about, oh man, I know this person, this person, this person. I had like 15 people in my mind that I was going to just go start talking to about the 6-week deal. 6 figures in 6 weeks. And you're like, whoa, 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 let's back off there and, go through the system. So what are your thoughts about, my landlord right across the hall here is a dentist. Obviously your dentist seat's filled, but what are your thoughts about some of like I have literally 15 different businesses that I know personally have either done work with or are currently working with,
How about
and they
this?
have
Let's run through.
so much money.
So what we can do is we can just kind of run through these, and maybe that'll help you. So, like if you said dentist, for example, that chair actually is not full. I mean, it was technically Riviera, but he's pivoted. I don't know if you want to call the when you decide to pivot, but he's not doing it anymore. And the reason for that is because client acquisition is so difficult. So he's figured out how to get them results, but the issue is just booking sales calls with these people. So we're not.
Right.
He's actually moving to HVAC. So him and Rodarte are both doing HVAC.
So here's just some of the people I was thinking about. Like I said, my cousin's a plumber. I have 2 dentists I could potentially talk to. I have this personal injury attorney, 2 of those. I have a good friend who's 2 good friends who are gym owners. I have another friend who I haven't checked in with him for a while. Might be interesting to talk with him, but it's been probably back in March. He was talking to me about potentially helping. He just started a business where they do the surface coatings on your garage floors, that kind of paint with stuff. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. Anyway, he didn't go with me, not because he didn't think I could do the job, but because he was speaking with somebody in the industry, and that's all they do. They just run ads for people, and and so that's where I was first like, maybe there is something to this niche thing, because I have a guy who's my friend who knows what I do and knows I do it well, but he chose these people purely on the reason that he thought they were experts and I would have a time of trying to figure it out. I think I told you about the guy who does flipping houses. That would be, different because what they don't flip the house, they're the loan company. So, let's say you go out and find a piece of property that you want to flip, and you get basically you get a 6-month no interest loan from them to flip this house. And then after 6 months, hopefully you've sold it and you pay back the loan, and then you go get a traditional mortgage and sell the house. Or, if you don't sell it within 6 months, you have to convert that traditional mortgage and you try to sell it. Then I told you about the med spa lady. The other one I had been doing some work for, but they were individually owned and they just joined a larger conglomerate of doctors, is bariatric surgeons. And for the last year or so, he's been paying me $200 a month just to do like 4 little 15-second social media videos. It literally took me an hour to do for him. And he's like, here's $200, just keep kicking those out. But they make, a ton of money. So those were the targets I started thinking of before you told me to slow down a little bit. So that's where I was. My plumber, 2 dentists, 2 personal injury attorneys, 2 gym owners, the garage surfacing guy, the flipping mortgage, the med spa, and bariatric surgeons.
Okay. Um,
Those are all people I know where I could literally just pick up the phone, call them and say, do you want to hear about what this thing I've gone through? And, you know, it might be cheating a little bit, but, and then I guess the yoga studio lady, maybe that's bigger than I realize. I mean, the lady is making money hand over fist. So I really, and like I said, it would be, I'm going to be thinking on this as I go through all this material, especially before I get to the niche calculator. You know, I don't think this would be a niche you could work with, but you know, you told me you had rental properties. I have 2 little Airbnbs that I rent out, you know, that I really enjoy that industry, but I don't know that you could actually do anything with that. I can't even think of what your offer would be, you know, so maybe like you, yeah, like investors. But trying to find an industry that I kind of halfway know a little bit about already to give myself a head start when I'm talking to somebody. Like I can talk with them, I can be a little bit on their level, but yeah.
okay.
And to be honest with you, you know, some of these, even though I know them and I know they have a lot of money, I just don't know what the, you know, like a personal injury attorney, what is your ad, you know, other than have you recently been injured in an auto accident, you know, something like that. But I know he spends between the person who's running his ads for him and what he's spending. I bet he spends, one of them is spending more than $10,000 a month. And he always complains to me, it doesn't work,
Hmm.
you know? So I tried to, he let me run Google ads for him for about a month and a half, which is not enough time to build up the data you need to build to be successful. And he went back to the other guy, but he still has me make like videos and things for him every month. And he just, you know, the reason he pays me a nice little check just to be on call for him to make a couple videos every month or every week rather. And he comes over to my office with some scripts. I film it, put it together, make a nice post and hand it off to the guy doing all his Google ads and all that stuff. Like I told you in the note, I think he keeps me around because a couple of the videos I made for him made him a lot of money.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. I want to circle back to that. I'm genuinely curious how you know which videos made him money and what the story was like. Maybe it was like a test.
Well, you know, I made a specific video for him and somebody came in and said, I saw the video where you were talking about XYZ. That's why I called you. You know, they just blurted it out.
Gotcha.
Like his story is he was an insurance attorney who was working for a big firm here in Kansas City. Years before he became an attorney, his brother was killed in a motorcycle accident. And he was working for this insurance firm, and they were having him go through old paperwork. And he came across his brother's file and found out that his mom and dad got $1,500 for his brother's motorcycle accident. Somebody hit him. And he said, I just couldn't believe that that's what my brother's life was worth. So he said, I walked in 2 days later. I resigned and started I'm going to advocate for people like my mom and dad. And he tells that story, and I made a really good video to go with it. And he's had several people tell him the reason I hired you was that video.
Well, was this video at the top of his website, like the top video?
Yeah. And he used it on social. I mean, I don't run it. Well, I do run his website now. He didn't let me at first, but I run his website now, and he doesn't do any social media, any Google ads or anything like that. So 2 or 3 people found him on Google, saw that video and mentioned to him that's why they hired him. And then he went on, like one of them, the lady just settled for like $535,000 or something like that. And that video, I think I charged him $500 to make it because it took like an hour and a half. He came in, did his little story, and then I added some stock footage to it and made it, put some sad music, and presto bango, and he gets 30% of that 525. So a lot of money.
Video business cards, there's a time and a place for them if somebody has a way to generate traffic and get it to the website. So there's definitely value in that for sure.
Yeah.
Again, it goes back to what I said earlier, which is, the video itself doesn't do anything. It has to get
Right.
there. Something has to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, I definitely, again, that my strategy for you as a fallback was literally, so I don't mean to go off tangent, but I'll just go and share it with you. But it's literally going to these businesses and offering video business cards, testimonial videos, and then maybe like how-to videos, like basically videos that actually work. And you basically sell this for a package. So you basically do exactly what Eric, or you basically do exactly what these video courses are telling you to do. And you can go in there, you charge 15 grand or whatever. But the thing that you need to do that's different than what they're sharing is you need to also run ads. And
Yeah.
so ads, what's going to happen is you basically run ads and you offer this for free. Okay. And so basically what's happening is these business owners, they believe that they need this thing. They believe without any shadow of doubt, oh my God, I need this thing. They have to be already sold on it. You're not necessarily promising them an ROI or anything. You're just kind of like leading with, hey, this is going to help you out. You need this thing. However, you're going to promise it. And what's going to happen is they're not actually making money from this. What's going to happen is they're actually going to make money from this. And so because they're making 2K a month or whatever they're making, and they're going to basically say, oh my God, this stuff works. When in reality, this doesn't work. This is what's working. The reason this works is because if you're an advertising agency and let's say you charge people 5K, and if the client makes 4K, then the client thinks, oh, I'm making a negative ROI, and then they're going to fire you. Versus if you're a videographer and you charge somebody like 15K, and if you make them say 2K per month through the ads that you're offering for free, well, you're freaking Buddha, you're a saint. Because they thought, hey, I need to spend the 15K here. They see this as money invested, well invested. And then whenever you're getting them results, this is like the cherry on top. So people are crazy, humans are crazy. It makes no sense. People are silly rabbits. But this is why this strategy works. So hopefully that makes sense. This is like the fallback thing that I was thinking about. So literally you go on these businesses, you offer them video, the stuff that you feel very comfortable with. But because you do this, they're going to continue to pay you.
Yeah.
That's
I think I like the niche thing better, but I understand that too. Because I like I like the lack of drag time that you've talked about and preached about. I just think there's more money. It's more possible to change my life versus being on a hamster wheel, going out and selling every, I got to get you another video, and it just, yeah. And that's what I was sort of doing before you, except I wasn't using Facebook ads. I was using a lot of Google ads. It just, I don't know. It's just very hit and miss. And then because I was just like, I'll take the first thing that comes my way. I was often working with people whose ticket items, the things they were selling, there's just no way I could not ever have brought them enough results to make the money back. Never. I was doing stuff with the guy out here that's the assistant coach for Sporting KC. He's got a whole soccer complex out here, indoor soccer fields, a gym, 3 indoor pickleball courts, a restaurant. And I ran stuff for him for 3.5 months, and he just said it's just not working. And we stopped. And as we were ending, I asked him, I asked somebody there. Anyway, I got a result. His average customer spend was $35. I thought it was way more than that. I didn't do my homework. And I started doing the math based on what he was paying me. I would have to bring him 1,000 people a month just to break even. It was just impossible. So, and I wasn't willing to go lower on what I was having him pay me. There was no way. So, yeah, I just like the niche thing. I think
numbers just
I'd like to try the tried and true thing. And if I have to find my own niche and make my own way, I'm okay with that. Because I do, like you said, I do have, or like I've told you, I do have some things that are there that pay my bills, leave a little left over for me. And if this section isn't nearly as busy as that first one was, then that gives me a little breathing room. because I just felt like I was suffocating.
Yeah.
Every time a thing would come in and opt in, I just felt like I got to call them now. I got to call them now. And that would make me stop, and I was just trying to burn the candle at both ends. It was killing me. So if this is a little more relaxed, not to say, easier, just a little more relaxed where I'm not maybe getting 10 leads every single day that you got to follow up with, although that'd be okay. I think it's the route I'd rather pursue. I just got to figure out the niche.
So pivoting back to this, I'm going to kind of just talk out loud in terms of these niches. And then you can maybe sleep on it. I think, again, go through the rest of the homework material. There's another video to watch on niching, calculator, homework, and then you can kind of get some stuff to me. So right now, this is just some stuff to just kind of sleep on. I don't like dentists because of my experience with Riviera. I think it's just too red ocean, too much competition. Gym owners, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. It's possible to do. As you know, your competition is going to be Gym Launch, Alex Hormozi. But we did have members, Adam and Tony, who took a gym, and Mason helped them because Mason actually had results for internal gyms. So Mason helped a guy. Mason gave that playbook to Adam and Tony. Tony, Adam used it, got their client results. So it definitely works. I think it's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Hard money lender. I'm not sure about that one. I don't know if there's enough people in that world that you can sell to, right?
Yeah,
10, 20,000. I don't think so. Airbnb investors, I've heard of actually a guy where what he was doing is he was offering to help people get rid of their bad reviews. So what he would do is he would just go and manually find people on Instagram. Hey, do you want this removed? It's $50. He was actually able to scale that to like 70K a month. And so it's a different business model, but that's what I've seen with Airbnb investors. So I put these kind of down here, which is like, I'm not super like keen on these. Then the next tier is going to be the surface coating floor. I'm not familiar with it, but here's what I would do if I were you. I would maybe write this down, but I would figure out, how did your friend find them? Did they find them through an
they
app?
found him.
Okay, they found him.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that's the case, then I'm not sure that this is the best route, because what they did, I think, is cold outreach. What you want to do is because again, there's client acquisition, there's service delivery. For client acquisition, I would not look into something that's going to be cold outreach. What I'm going to bet is these people, they have like 100, 200 DMs or phone calls that they make a day, and they're trying to get a very small percentage of them. What I would be looking for is like, can you book sales calls with people through paid ads, which is what we're doing, which is what your experience was. Otherwise, you're gonna be pointing her out. I would not recommend cold outreach. So then if that's the case, then I would maybe not look into this. But if there are businesses that are running paid ads, then it could be worth it, because that means service delivery does work, right? Because they're getting results for your friend. So that means service delivery works, which means, hey, you can run ads to generate leads and sales for these kinds of businesses.
I'll ask him if he's still with them and if it's working. Because it's funny, and of course this happens, but when he was talking to me, he was talking with them first. He put them on pause and called me to see if I could do the same thing. And of course, I looked up the company and all that stuff. And then for like the next 10 days, all I got on Facebook was these types of ads. And eventually I started seeing his ads, the ads that were for my friend. So I'll have to see, I'll double check and see if he reached out to them, but I thought they reached out to him and how they worked for him.
Are they Facebook ads?
Yeah, Facebook ads.
So yeah, so service delivery probably does work. But yeah, confirm. And then if it works, great. But then the next question is client acquisition. So even if they do work, then with, if client acquisition is cold outreach, that's going to kill you. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
So then we come here, and this is kind of the cream of the crop, in my opinion. So med spas is proven, tried and tested, done deal. Question just becomes, you'd have to have a conversation with Aman, Aaron, whatever those guys are comfortable sharing with you. That would be that. This is what I would do if I were you. If you just said, hey, look, I want to turn my brain off and just make money. And again, even that, there's no such thing as turning your brain off. There's so much that me and Aman are learning. We're going to be talking about some stuff today. Kind of see what kind of conversation me and him are. We're talking about like literally AI phone callers, right? Like, so there's a lot of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is as tried and tested and proven as it gets. You start this, you really can't fail. I feel like there's potential in yoga studios. So I think, if I were to kind of go in order, I think I would say PI injury attorneys first. Because I have literally seen, I have seen a lawyer running ads, and so I know it works. And I also know a guru who helps lawyers. So there's a guru. This guy, he used to run ads for lawyers, and then eventually he decided to become like a guru, and he has like a coaching program for lawyers. So I know for sure client acquisition works and service delivery works. I know both of these work. So I know, but this one you'd have to figure it out. So you and I would have to figure that out together. We have to do research and all that stuff. So this works, but we got to figure it out. Yoga studios, I believe it works. With plumbers, I don't know that I've ever seen an agency run ads to
Yeah,
plumbers.
I don't,
About that.
and I think it would have to be, he couldn't be like advertising emergency. He'd have to be advertising a specific, do you want your tub remodeled or?
I'm not worried about getting results for plumbers. What I'm saying is client acquisition side.
Yeah,
So run ads and say, hey, are you a plumber that needs to grow your business? If so, click below, book a call with me. I don't know that I've ever seen that. That's my thing. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
right.
But can you run ads for plumbers and get the results? For sure, 100%. I have no doubts about that. So I'm putting this below yoga studio. And then bariatric surgeons, like weight loss is like huge, right? So
Yeah,
I'm sure if you just run an ad, you run an ad, say, hey, look, here's before, here's after. You want the results? If so, book a call with me. Like that'll work for sure. People want weight loss. Now, in terms of getting bariatric surgeons to book a call with you, I don't feel that's why I put them at the very bottom, because these guys are already making so much money. These guys are already so busy. I don't think that there's enough of these people that are going to book a call with you that you're going to be able to close.
yeah. And the way I met him was through his social media manager, and then he kept me. So, uh, yeah, I would have never been able to get to talk to him ever. He's got like 5 layers of people before you ever get to him. So I don't know how that one would work either.
So I would say these people are very difficult to get a hold of, so I'm not a huge fan of them. So in that case, I mean, from what you've shared with me, you know, this is what I like so far. Yeah.
The reason I'll tell you, the PI injury is interesting because in my experience with both of them, they certainly have the money, and the bar is so low. All you got to do is get them one person where a case closes, and they have made enough money to pay for you 10 years over. So that one's always like in the back of my head. Before I met you, I was starting to try and think of how am I got to get more of these personal injury attorneys.
The question though is like, what is the ad cost to close a deal? So if the ad cost
Right.
grand, that's stressful for both you, them, myself, because it's like, hey, spent money, haven't closed a deal, haven't closed a deal, haven't closed a deal. And so you spend $9,950 and you're like,
Yeah.
you quit. So I don't know what the cost per.
Yeah, I don't know how you run an ad to get the injury attorney to reach out to me. I don't know.
In terms of running the ads to get the personal injury to reach out to you, actually, I think that's the easy part.
Mhm.
I actually think that's the easy part because I know that works for sure.
The two that I always think in these terms of like where you could get them easy results would be the yoga studio and the med spa, because there are always people who have money and spend it on their face or and that to me is, boy, those are so I don't know how. I'm confident you could teach me how to get them results.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know how to get them to reach out to me so I can talk to them. So maybe the yoga studio is the way to go with my friend, and I can, because I know her well enough and I've been delivering results for her on Google Ads. She may be a thing where I could literally pitch it to her like, would you be my guinea pig? Would you help me learn how to do this? And I'll give you a discounted rate on what I'm doing just so we can figure it out. That way I can blow this up all over the country. And my promise to you will be I'm not going to run ads in our area, to help you, to compete against you. And I think she'd do it. I've known her for a few years now, and I think she thinks highly of me.
The thing is this. Here's what you have to keep in mind. And I want to be crystal clear about this. If you do this with her, right? The most important thing is this.
Yeah.
This is the most important thing. Unless we get your calendar booked with consistent leads, you're not going to feel easy, right?
Yeah.
The anxiety is never going to go away. So the thing is, if we go after, the benefit is you start making that cash fast, you start feeling good, like, hey, Kushik, we're making money, we're feeling good. Great. We solved that. But the thing is, you're going to be between a rock and a hard place, because we're going to be trying to figure out service delivery, and we got to be building this thing out. And this is the most important thing out.
Yeah.
This is going to feed you for a lifetime versus she's going to feed you for a few months.
Right. And the other thing, I start getting excited because I think of, oh, you could get them the service delivery for her. Like what she advertises for is not much, she's wanting people to buy like a $99 lifetime membership to her online courses. I don't know. That's what the Ned's problem is, the one I keep coming back to, because I feel like we could get them in, and then the products they offer, they make money on. It's a high return. And that's the lesson I have learned early on from doing these other retainers, is I got to find something where the money that comes back to them is decent, that there's a high profit margin, or the lifetime value of the customer is really high. Because I can't see selling very well to somebody who has a product for $100 and all they make off of it's $5, or it's a one-time $100 purchase. I don't know. So I'm going to think on it.
You got to figure that out, right? So there's this guy. So, and I think I've shared this with you, but I call it the fat pig framework. There's basically your bank account, there's your client's bank account, and then there is the customer's bank account. Have I ever gone over this with you? Have you ever seen this?
I haven't seen this.
So basically, a lot of people, what they say is, for your bank account, if you want to make it big, what you got to do is you got to focus on, giving amazing value to your clients. You sell to your clients. What I always say is, no, screw the client. The client doesn't matter. Screw the client. Because if the client is who you're going to sell to, maybe the client is worth 5K, maybe the client is worth 10K. And what I always say is, no, your job is just to figure out how to increase the number of customers that your client gets and then increase the value of them. So how do I increase the number of customers? Paid ads, right? Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, YouTube ads. And then how do I increase the value? How do I make this customer's bank account double the size? That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get more customers. I'm trying to increase the size. I'm sorry, this is getting a little bit messy, but
Hey, are you using a mouse or using a pen pad? I've always wondered how you're doing that.
I'm using a mouse.
Okay, because you draw a very straight line. I'm like, how's he do that? Okay, go ahead.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to basically take somebody's bank account that goes from this big to this big.
Mm-hmm.
The reason for that is now I take all this money is my money. I'm just using my client as a middleman to funnel it over to my bank account.
Mm-hmm.
This fundamentally goes back to what you were just saying, which is like, hey, there's got to be profit, right? This is it. This is the key thing. This is the key thing. In this business, this is the most important thing. This is the most important thing. The bigger you make this, the more of the pie you get. Now, again, there are two lessons here, which is one is like figure out how to get them results, and then two, figure out how to extract the money. Those are two different lessons.
Yeah.
Two different lessons, right? There's like a sales cycle and what you say during the onboarding, whatever. Now, all that to say, when I look at the yoga studio, you got to make all of your clients run the same play. What brews in my mind is I'm already thinking about Gym Launch's 16-week challenge for this. Are you familiar with Gym Launch and Alex Hormozi?
No.
So
if I talk to my friend, I bet he knows him.
Yeah, ask your friend. So basically, we have a member, his name's Jorge. And so Jorge is working with Brazilian jiu-jitsu businesses. And so Brazilian jiu-jitsu businesses, what they do is their customers are worth, I don't know, like $100 a month. Okay, so $100 a month. So what Jorge does is Jorge basically has this guy's name's like Somo or something. And Somo basically hired Gym Launch. And when they hired Gym Launch, they took these guys from like 15K a month to like freaking 45K overnight. Super fast. So this is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu business owner, hires Gym Launch. Gym Launch's stuff takes them from 15K to freaking 40K overnight. And so then what Jorge does is Jorge applies that same technique to his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu clients. And now guess what? Instead of being worth $100, these are worth $600. And now guess what? He gets to funnel that money into his bank account.
So he found an offer for the Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys that increased the value. So he found a good offer, and the people signed up, and okay.
So really quick, what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, what they typically do is they're running an ad. So what Jorge was doing for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to get the customers is he's running an ad saying, hey, it's a free class. If you come into this free class, enjoy it. And then after that, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu business owners were trying to sell these people into a membership, and the membership is $100 a month. Versus what Gym Launch does is Gym Launch does like a 16-week weight loss challenge. And what they do is again, you have to look into it, check it out, go online, read a little bit into it. I'll butcher it. But it's like a 16-week challenge, and it's like 6K, or I'm sorry, it's like $600 up front. And it's like, if they lose the weight, they keep the money. If they don't lose the weight, there's like a downside. I don't know, some crazy stuff. But so now what they're doing is for the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he's running ads and saying, hey, would you like to lose weight? If you'd like to lose weight, we're doing a 16-week challenge. Come in, schedule a call, whatever. And so it's a completely different ad. It's a completely different funnel. It's a completely different formula. It's not the free one-day pass anymore. And so that's how he's gone from $100 to $600. He completely changed up the strategy, and he's using their strategy. So all that to say is we can replace Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with yoga.
Yeah.
Your job is to figure out this stuff. This is what I mean is like, seriously, you got to figure it out. We got to figure it out together.
Yeah, I think getting people to call me to help them get customers from yoga wouldn't be hard, but figuring out what they have to offer to make it profitable for them and then profitable to me maybe she can help me with that.
She can't help you. You got to figure it out.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe just when talking to her, she can give me some clues. I have no idea what yoga studios offer. I don't know if you can tell, Kaushik, I don't do yoga. So, I mean, I just imagine them all sitting around over there in those yoga pants going, oh, and, stretching for 5 minutes. So I don't know what she offers other than this thing she was having me run on. I've never really paid much attention to it.
And I do want to be, very clear here. This is hard.
Yeah.
Figuring out how to get people results is hard. And I will tell you right now, I guide you guys, but I don't give you the answer. So you can ask me as they're driving down this highway, and my job is just to make sure you don't bump into another car. But I will not tell you like, hey, you're going to do a 16-week challenge. This is the price point. You got to do the research. You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Niches versus, again, if you do something else, somebody else has already figured it out, and you can just get the information from them. So
yeah,
clear about that, because you said, hey, Kaushik, I feel confident you can help me. I can guide you, but I will not figure it out. I cannot figure it out.
Well, I mean, I feel like I feel confident that you can help me find yoga studios.
Yes.
I have no idea what she offers or what they offer. That'd probably be a lot of work. That's what I was meaning, is maybe she could tell me, well, here are the things we offer. This is the menu of services we offer. And out of that, I can figure out something, because the service delivery has, ever since I've started offering any type of retainer work, that has been the hardest part of the whole thing. That's why I've lost the 3 or 4 retainers I did have. The 3 that I still have, like I said, I told you in that note, the private investigator made a lot of money on a couple of videos. He could confirm it. Boom. So now he thinks I walk on water. The grocery stores, I think it's a quarter to quarter thing. And he just told me that I've only been with him for three and a half months now. He told me the first quarter I went with him, the sales went up in the 3 stores. That's why he rehired me for the next 3. But I can't measure it. I don't know, there are things I can do, like make, if he wants to run an ad on Soda Pop, I can make ads on Soda Pop and see if his Soda Pop increases. But one little hit of inflation and I'll be gone. So the restaurants, I think they just count me in as their marketing budget.
What I always tell people for service delivery, I'll tell you right now, and again, you can talk to Rodarte if you want about this. I always tell them, go find an expert. So just straight up, that's what it's going to be like. My job, I can help you find leads, close deals. That's what I'm really good at. But in terms of you getting results, I always tell people, hey, go out there, find a yoga studio expert. Hey, go out there, find an expert who is running ads for PI attorneys. Hey, go out there and find somebody who's running ads for plumbers, and then come back to me with that information. Then you and I will take that information and figure out what we need to do with it. So
Yeah, I think if I'm just laying my cards on the table, the goal is I want to be part of your network. I want to be one of those octopus arms. So med spa may be off the table because you've already got that. So I don't know, the yoga studio and the PI injury thing, those might be the ways I just do a little research, but I still have a long way to go on Joel's video and the niche calculator, and something else may show its head and pop up.
I just want you to know, I want to be very crystal clear. This is one of those things where, again, I said this to Rodarte, he kind of brushed it off, and then it cost me a few months. And so this is one of those moments where it might not seem very serious what I'm saying, but it's very serious, which is if you go this route, you can make money as soon as the end of this month.
Right.
If you pick this route, it could be 6 months before you start seeing some money. This route, anything where you have to figure some stuff out, it could be 6 months. It could be a long time. I just want to be very crystal clear about that. This is
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll do some meditating on it. Go to the yoga studio and let her teach me how to do that while in a downward dog position. Perhaps the answer will make itself clear.
Let us know if that downward dog helps you. And
yeah, I don't think I could do it. I'd be the stuck downward dog. Speaking of dogs, man, just a little story. I was coming back from Iowa yesterday and 2 dogs ran out. I was going down Interstate 35. It's a split highway. 2 dogs went across the road from me way up ahead. Of course, I caught up. The first dog ran across the highway and made it. The second dog, beautiful dog, and I know it belonged to somebody. 2 semis were coming down. That guy the semi guy, I can't get him out of my head. He didn't even try to slow down. You know, I'm not saying slam on your brakes. He just plowed that dog over. Never even hit his brakes after he did it. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in person with my eyes in my life. It was horrible. I cannot get it out of my head. It's the worst. I absolutely love dogs. I believe dogs may be better, the best thing God ever created, even above human beings. And just to see that dog just get obliterated like that, just all day long, my stomach's just been hurting. So sorry about the terrible story, but I haven't told anybody. Horrible, horrible. So on that note, you guys have a great week.
for leaving us with that.
Yeah. I'll let you guys imagine it. Probably all of you being visual creatives, you can imagine it very clearly. I've never seen anything like that in my life. When that dog hit that bumper, it went from looking like a dog to a deflated dog. It looked like it popped without stuff going everywhere. Fur went everywhere, but the dog went from 3-dimensional to 1-dimensional. Looked like a flat sheet and then rolled under the truck. And that, like I said, that guy never even, I watched, because there was nobody around me. I watched, he never even hit his brakes. So I hope wherever he is, if he didn't see it and just maybe the truck's so big he didn't even realize it happened. But if he knew what he was doing, I hope he burns in hell because it was awful, horrible. All right, I'm out of here. You guys have a great night. I'm gonna go find my niche, suing people who hit dogs.
There you go. Maybe you should look into that.
All right.
All right. Keep me posted. Also, hey, Jeremy, just so you know, this part of the conversation, let me, this is what it looks like. This is just me and Ryan all of like last week going back and forth about different things.
You said last week. I thought you were going to say last night. This was just me and him going back and forth. Yeah, I know it's going to be tough.
It's not that it's tough. What I'm trying to get across to you is that, don't hesitate to reach out. Don't hesitate to bounce ideas. That's what he did. He did a lot of that. And I think that's what really helped him out. And so, hey, like just Kushik, here's what's brewing in my head. Here's what I think. And me and Mason kind of give you our 2 cents. So don't be shy, feel free to just vocalize things and that'll help you out.
And I know just on a personal note, I'm coming up on the end of my 3 months. So, you and I can have a conversation how you want to proceed. So.
Yeah, sure. I will, I don't, I have an alarm that goes off. So when that does go off, I'll definitely reach out to you. For all the guys, I mean, I'm on Mason. Jason's new here, but everybody about a week beforehand, depending on where you're at, how far you get, I send everybody a Loom video. Here's what we've done. Here's what's next, and then just give you a few different options of like what you want to do from there. So you can
Okay.
in a few weeks.
All right.
Other questions that you have for me, Jeremy?
No, sir. I'm all good. I'm ready to, I'll try to get through everything, all these other videos tomorrow and start whittling it all down. See if we can't have something picked out in a direction by the end of the week, maybe.
Sooner the better. The sooner the later. Don't sit on it too long, right?
Okay.
I would say today's Monday. You did fantastic last week. I felt so good about last week. We got caught up with everything. I would say this week, if I were you, I would try to again have the niche picked. Let's start writing out scripts. If we can
Okay.
film, let's even try to edit, right? Let's just do as much as we can do. If we can, I would say if we can launch your funnel by like mid next week, if sooner better, but like mid next week, if we can get it launched, that would be fantastic.
Okay. I'll put it on the calendar as a goal. I'll go for it.
Cool. All right. If you need anything, let us know, Jeremy. Okay.
Okay. See you guys later.
Yep.
I got a sale at 8 o'clock. I just checked my calendar.
Okay, cool. We
just so you know, I gotta bounce out.
okay. Is there like a quick question that you wanted to ask us that we could go over with you?
But not really. You guys do a real good job of helping me out privately. So most of my stuff gets resolved. It's really just gonna be me putting in the reps, trying to, do better this sales call. Hopefully the spanking from earlier that I gave myself is gonna be beneficial for this call coming up at 8 o'clock. Right now I'm about to put together that little system thing. Like, let me show you the one that I put together for the smoke shop real quick. I'm just gonna flip my camera around. Let's see, smoke shop. So this is the picture I put together because there's not many smoke shop ads running, but there are a few. And so there was a picture of the shop. Some of them even had videos of smoke stuff, opt-in form, and then this one led straight to the store. And I was even telling him that we could even, help boost like your mailing list with this and that, this and that. So I thought I was doing a pretty good job. But then we got toward the end, the closing part, obviously did not go in my favor.
Okay. Yeah, in terms of like what you presented, you have the right idea. You're doing a good job. That's what you need to be doing. Yeah, good. Any question that you have for us though? Like anything at all before we go into that meeting, man? Anything at all we can help with?
Off the top of my head, not really. It's just me doing my part. I know where I'll be messing up. My biggest problem is I'm not quick on my feet. I'm not a fast thinker, so I have to like help train my mind because I'll sit there and try to come up with something, and obviously, the longer you take, the weirder you look.
Yeah.
I just gotta keep working at it, and I think I'll get a close hopefully this week. I haven't even touched base on the people who liked my post. I know they're cold or whatever, but I'm still gonna touch base with everybody and hopefully get more sales calls booked. But I'm hoping the ones that I got booked are the only ones that I need. That'd be nice. So that's what I'm going with. But yeah, I'm gonna go make this thing. And if you have any words of encouragement for me aside from that, that's really it.
I mean, in terms of words of encouragement, bro, it's just you already know what you need to do, which is just playing the reps, and you get better, a little bit better with every single one. And typically, it's about the fifth one that people are closing. So, so far everything seems pretty normal to me. I'm not seeing any red flags or anything like that. I think you just need to put in the work and practice again. I'm not very fast on my feet either. I'll be honest with you. It's just I've done it so many times. It's like I already know like the 5 responses that I'm gonna get. Have a response plan for them, and that's the game, right? You just do times you already can't anticipate what people are going to say and you already have an answer.
Yeah, I watched the Alex Hermosi video, the one that's in the sales script page, and it's real good. I was like, damn, this makes a lot of fucking sense. This makes some sense. He's talking. So I started writing those down. I really gotta study those things because
don't worry about Hormozi's thing for now. His stuff, like it's good, but it's super advanced. What I would say is what I would recommend is and I know you got to get going, but what I would say is I would recommend this stuff: advanced training on setting, sales, objection handling. Um, yeah.
What week is that? Week 4?
So this is advanced training on setting and sales. So it's down at the bottom.
Okay.
So what I would recommend doing in terms of objections is just study the stuff here. Objections mastery, lesson 4, lesson 5, lesson 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
When you have free time. When you have free time.
Yeah, I got some time. I put in some PTO from the 24th to the 28th. So those days I'm gonna really try to hammer some things in because the job slows me down a lot. I'm trying to get the hell out of there ASAP. So I'm gonna do my best to keep this thing going because I got shit at stake too. I'm trying to get this shit done. But yeah, I'm gonna go handle this stuff. I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Good. All right. Mr. Aman.
What's up,
What's going on, man? Hurricane survivor out there.
Hurricane Survivor? We got through it.
How are people doing out there now?
Good. I think everyone's power is back. So,
What about the people in that area? Are people any different? Are they pretty like life is normal?
like in my specific area, or
No, your area is probably like normal. Probably hasn't changed much, but like where Ryan lives.
where is he? Like Tampa? Okay. I think Tampa didn't get hit that hard. So Tampa was projected to be like destroyed, but I don't even think it really got hit because the hurricane moved last second, and then I think maybe a little bit down south of Tampa they probably got, but I didn't hear anything about it after that. So, yeah, I mean whoever did get hit probably got hit pretty bad, but I also think it was like category 3 or 2 by the time they got hit. So. I have no idea how life is going for them now. I just know I got my power back, and I'm pretty selfish in that sense. So,
Cool, man. Well, what's going on? What are we chatting about today? Have I made tweaks to a page? Yes. Yeah, I'll let you take it, man. What did you want to talk about?
yeah. Well, I can kind of respond to your message on the AI stuff because I feel like that's some pretty exciting stuff that we can dive into. So, So yeah, I don't know if it'll be 80%. I mean, I can show you like a demo like right now of me sharing my screen, like having a conversation. And I don't like I haven't trained it, I haven't really tweaked it or anything. But I think, so the problem I'm trying to solve is that most clients are just difficult to follow up the leads fast enough, right? But maybe if there was a system where they were the ones getting the calls, they'd be willing to take it more often to be able to get more bookings in. And so I don't know if it caused too much complexity, if either the AI was kind of like a middleman and passed it over, or if, they got on the phone and then they tried to do the entire sales call. I feel like that could be a little bit too complex, but I have seen people online that do use it for that reason.
Wait, so you said something about um I'm having a brain fart. I'm so sorry, man.
Or the demo thing.
No, not the demo. There was something that you were saying. I started interrupting you, but then I forgot what I was saying. I guess so I guess like what is like the problem that we're solving for? So like, oh, okay, so if somebody opts in and then when you say clients are having a difficult time following up, like what do you mean by that? Because when somebody opts in, the AI automatically has a conversation with them, right?
The text AI has a conversation, but sometimes, a lot of times, they'll like call after and then they won't get pickup, and then the person just stops responding, even if the person was engaged. Another thing is that sometimes, a lot of times, my clients don't even follow up fast enough. And even if I drill that, they just don't get to the leads quick enough. And I just see, like, I'll constantly check my clients' go high levels, and I just see, like, oh, this person's sitting here, they seem engaged. Like I wish that my client would have gone to them already.
Okay,
So like
so somebody opts in the AI has a conversation, and then, I mean, is the AI booking a conversation? Like, when you say they're not following up fast enough, what do you mean by that? So AI has a conversation with somebody right away, and the next conversation is supposed to be at 5 p.m. with the business owner,
Um,
not having a conversation with them. What do you mean?
Yeah, so they'll be engaged with the AI. They'll say that they're interested, and then, maybe the AI either sometimes stops responding, or maybe they got them booked for like, they got them, but then, very far, but then they kind of stopped responding along the way, but they were like very engaged before that. Either way, like the AI conversation is just there to try to get as many touch points as possible. So it makes it as easy as
So,
possible. Or
so in this case, somebody opts in, AI has a conversation, and instead of, there being this dead space between the AI conversation and the business owner, you're saying that the AI conversation happened, and then right away the AI phone call happens.
right. And it can do like maybe the follow-up calls as well if no one calls. So it's like if they don't answer the phone, but they at least can engage with the AI through text. But if the AI does call and they answer, they can have, they can get them on the phone and then possibly transfer over. Um, but again, I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, either that or it's like a VA that, gets these people booked. But ideally, there's just so many variables when it comes to having my own clients do it themselves. Unless they're like a bigger med spa who probably have the staff, but a lot of the people I've been getting. So either we just have to qualify them more where they actually are making over 20K, or um yeah, or we just have to get like really good callers. And I feel like even if we do get callers, I feel like it makes sense to niche down more. Ideally, we could do niche down more and higher end, like at least over 20K, because at least those people they kind of know what it takes.
So I would say my mind is kind of like pigeonholed on like AI first before we talk about like, hey, only take on 20K plus per month or whatever. My mind is always just like, how do I make my stuff so good that an idiot can use it? And if I
Right.
get my stuff so good that an idiot can use it, well then 20K, 30K, 10K doesn't really matter as much.
Right.
So if we just kind of focus on that, then you're saying that AI text bot cannot get them booked into a calendar?
It can, but they have to get that far, right? So only a few percentage of people actually get far enough where the AI will book them for a phone call. And even then, they'll sometimes book them for a time. My clients will reach out and then they won't answer. Um,
So, okay. So let's take it one step at a time. Sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you off,
no,
but
no,
you're
you're good. You're good.
throwing a lot at me. Kind of like
Yeah.
take a step at a time. Um, so you have an AI so walk me through an ideal case. How about that? Walk me through an ideal case of how this is going to be utilized, like perfect scenarios. Somebody walk me through what somebody experiences.
But let me pull it up because I have like one example I show for like um okay, so here.
You want me to stop sharing my screen?
Yeah. Okay, you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we have hey, thanks for filling out our exclusive offer. This is Tina. Yes, where are you located? We're located here. Have you experienced any kind of Botox treatment before? No. Okay, this is a very popular blah blah. Our goal is to get you in for a consultation. Would you like some details? They said yes. They'll give them the details on it. Is this something you're interested in? Yes.
Hold on. As you continue this stuff, are people usually dropping off during this stuff?
Yeah, I mean they'll drop off during here. I mean, I just try to make it easy for them to say yes or no, just to keep them on the hook. If that makes sense. And it's almost like
What I'm
it's
saying
almost
is I don't want like an ideal case. I want an average case. I want a realistic average case.
okay, realistic average case, they would probably drop off maybe like around here.
And then what would happen in terms of the AI voice saying?
So the way I train my clients is regardless of what's going on with the AI, they get notified, they review the conversation, they double dial, and then they'll send a follow-up text. So the follow-up text is something like, hey, just try giving me a call, or this is the team at blah blah. we just try giving you a call. Are you ready to book now, or would you like me to give you a call back later, or are you ready to book now?
Okay. So text, phone call. Would you like to? Okay. So walk me through again. So this person, you send the AI text, they say they don't respond. Okay, then what is the AI voice bot doing?
So the voice bot is like having a bot in place that can call within the 5 minutes. So this is almost like replacing my client's need to be the first one to get them on the call, like get the pickup. And then if the AI gets a pickup, then maybe we can get transferred to my clients where it's gonna be a lot easier. If they get a call, maybe it's, they're more willing to take calls rather than trying to follow up with every lead right away.
Our Botox treatments are very popular, can be da 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 da. Would you like details about your exclusive package? They don't respond. AI bot, voice bot calls them.
No, I want the bot to call them within 5 minutes of actually booking an opt-in, regardless if they reply to the AI or not. Um, I would want the AI to just call them immediately.
So it's irrelevant of all the stuff you're showing me right now.
Irrelevant of all this. It's just calling them regardless. So this is like separate of this. Like even pretend like this isn't here.
Gotcha. So the voice bot could pretty much get rid of this then, where it's like
Pretty
there's
much. Yeah.
okay, that makes more sense to me then.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I was having a hiccup of like, okay, where's the AI text? Where's the AI voice?
Right.
Where's the
Right. Yeah.
okay, so now we're replacing that with this. Um, and so what do you think the issue would be? You think the issue is that the business owner would not be available when they're ready to push it over?
I think that's one. I mean, I was thinking, okay, during business hours, but even then the business owner may be busy. Two, I mean, it's one thing to be awkward through text, but I think it's another thing if you're awkward as like a person, and I feel like people will be like, okay, this is AI. And so like especially because if there's glitching here, it's kind of like, okay, what are they trying to say? But if it's like glitching almost through a call, I feel like, okay, it probably won't do as well. I think it could probably do enough where it gets them through a conversation, but like I doubt it's gonna be able to collect a deposit, and that's gonna be the most important thing is collecting deposits.
So are you right? Is the business owner right now collecting deposit in any of the funnels?
Sorry, say that one more time.
So for the funnels that you're running for your clients right now, right? Like Botox, whatever, are are the business owners as of right now collecting deposits through any of the stuff that you have right now?
Yeah, when they get them on the phone, they'll collect the deposit on the phone, or at least I train them to.
Okay, so is that something that some clients do? Is that something that most clients do? Is that something that barely any of the clients do? So out of 10 clients, how many of them are actually doing that?
Um, Honestly, maybe like six. So it's usually a thing where the first check-in that I have, or we had the launch call, I train them on the scripts, and then the first week or two, they're not collecting deposits, and now I'll really drill on that. And then they'll usually start collecting the deposits for like most of them. So I have seen an improvement with my clients.
My question was just like, is that part of the process or not? So it sounds like that's part of your process, part of the machine.
It's-
Part of the machine is, hey, we hop on a call, do a conversation, and they collect the deposit before somebody comes. That's
Yes,
mandatory.
yes.
Okay. And so you're telling me that the AI bot cannot do that. So that means that we have to have a human element involved.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Unless they pass it forward the call, which again, I think the biggest thing for my clients is getting them to even answer the phone, having that conversation. Whereas even if we got, say 100% of the people, 100% of those who pick up and maybe like 80% or 60% get forwarded and actually get answered by my clients, would probably be a massive improvement over what we're currently doing.
So one more time, I might be, so what you're saying is right now, the biggest problem is the clients just are not doing enough follow-ups. And so what you're saying is if on the other hand, what we do is we get enough these bots on 100% of these people, then the amount of people that we get over to talk to somebody from the med spa, the it's going to be overwhelming in terms of the number. Overall number here is going to be way higher.
Compared to the text, yeah. Compared to them following up them. I think as
Sure.
long as they can get pickup, yeah, that's gonna be a huge thing.
Okay. I think, I mean, based off of what you're sharing and based off what I did here, I mean, the only way to like know, I mean, even though we've been talking all this stuff, I think I'm just trying to get clarity. Um, it's the only way to know is just to test it. And what I would say is it's some things that brew in my mind, and I don't know if you can program the bot to do this, but it's something along the lines of, hey, look, I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and then afterwards, if it's a makes sense, I'm gonna um I'm gonna pair you with an expert from our establishment. And so now you're kind of like dangling a carrot. You go through the whole thing. It's like, okay, got it. So I think that you're a good fit. Would you like me to transfer you over to one of our experts so they can answer any of your questions for you? And then that goes over to the business owner. And then if there's a way where the business owner does not pick up, if you can train the AI bot to say, hey, Bethany, the business owner is not available right now. Can you give me a time to call, have the business owner call you back?
Yeah.
And so that's, I don't know. It sounds to me like based off of your body language, you just think that, you know, it sounds like that you're able to train the bot to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely have to, because again, I don't know a lot with the AI. I have to maybe get with someone who can actually teach me the software, but that would be ideal scenario, I think. I mean, I think that's something worth testing. I can even show you, like, if you want, just to see, just so you can hear, because I mean, it's still an AI bot, but like, you know, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it.
Hey, first name. This is Victoria from Fab Ulash Med Spa. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I noticed that you responded to our Facebook ad about Botox. Hey, have you found someone to help you with that, or are you still looking for options?
No, I haven't done it yet.
Got it. Is now a good time for a quick 2-3 minute chat?
Sure.
Great. I'd like to ask you a few questions to see if our Botox service is a good fit for you. Then I can provide you with all the details about our current offer and address any questions you may have. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. So could you tell me what got you interested in getting Botox done?
But yeah, you can kind of see. So sometimes it sounds good, and then sometimes it's like
How did you find out about this company or this brand or whatever?
I was just looking on YouTube just for anything that I don't remember how I even thought the idea of AI calling. I just started looking it up and then, looked around and found this.
I think Matt Shields on their YouTube, they've been recently promoting one. I don't know if it's their own product. I
Mhm.
don't think it is. I think it's an affiliate, but it is some AI stuff that they're using. I'd maybe look into his YouTube videos and the most recent YouTube videos and see what link it is, what product they're using.
Okay.
I don't know if that product does voice. But yeah, man, I like it. I feel like there's probably better options out there that you can add the ums and the buts and make it sound more realistic. Um,
They have that here too, where you can actually add like the ums and punctuation, stuff like that.
I think it's just gonna be testing, bro. I think it's gonna be testing. It's gonna be testing where we see what things look like, how many people we can push over. We have to listen to these conversations,
Yeah,
right?
for
That's
sure.
gonna be a part of it. And then I think if for example, like, okay, I'll give you an example. If somebody says like, is this a bot? Is it a real person? If we keep hearing that over and over, then we potentially change the opening line to, hey, I am Fabulash's AI assistant. Just had a few questions for you. So right away they know that they're having a conversation in AI.
That's what I was thinking too, because I feel like Um, yeah, I mean, I think it'd be worth it. It's just more of like, okay, I probably have to find someone on Upwork who can help me implement this because even with like their training docs and everything, it's like so confusing to me how to actually implement this. So, maybe see if it's worth like if someone can do like $100 and they could just have me share my screen and set everything up, I think that'd be ideal. And then maybe I can get with like Karen or something who would probably be down for something like this, and then see if that's possible.
What do you feel like, what prompted you to look into this in the first place? Just out of curiosity.
So, just kind of going through a few of my clients, so like one of the new guys, again, I don't think like that's gonna work out, and again, that's on me for kind of doing like a 1 month guarantee or whatever, and he's very like on top of that, but like for him, like even him, I thought he would just be like a shark in terms of just like constant follow up with people. And like he's not like it. I see people being left on red or not being followed up with quickly enough. I'm like, okay, like there's just so many variables when it comes to this. And I just feel like I need something to just help.
What,
Um,
what, what I'm asking is, I should phrase my question better, but like what prompted you look into this when we spoke about initially like VAs? Like there's obviously a reason why your head went to this as opposed to like, oh, let me go talk to Selena and start looking at the Philippines. There's something that triggered this. So I'm just kind of curious what that is.
Yeah, I forgot what specifically it was. I feel like I either saw something that sparked it, right? Like I just saw something online. Maybe I was looking at VAs or something, or maybe it was because like this one guy, Lane Sander, he does AI bots for Dr. J now. Like he's the guy for them, and like I remember he told me something about it, and then I remember I was just like thinking about him, and maybe that sparked it. I just remember I saw something that had like sparked it, but I don't remember what it was exactly.
What were you hoping to get from me in terms of like us shooting the shit and going back and forth? Like, I guess like what were you looking for me?
From you, it was just more of like, based on what you're seeing, do you think this is worth that route and energy? Because again, the AI bot was like a lot of energy just to figure that out, but it has paid off a lot. So my question to you is like, looking at this, do you think it's worth that extra time and energy outside of everything else I'm doing to maybe implement this, try it out, and see how that goes? Um, so
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. I would say 100%. It's worth it more than us like freaking getting setters from the VA and doing this. This is if we can nail this, man, it's so scalable.
Yeah, I agree.
'Cause you're gonna have if you have 10 clients, we got 3 setters. I'm sorry, if we got 30 clients, we got 3 people from the Philippines. Eventually you have to have somebody manage them, you know. Yeah, I like this way better than that.
Yeah, yeah, same. And plus you could take on more services if needed. You know, it's just it'll work for anything. And then if we could just forward a bunch of calls to our clients, then ideally that's like the best route.
So for sure, that's a no-brainer. If that was what your question was for me,
Yeah,
no-brainer. For
yeah.
sure.
So I mean, I'll definitely start looking into how to actually get this implemented because again, that's gonna be the hardest part. And then maybe we can like figure out like again, like having that gameplay of like how the script should go. That's gonna be a huge part of it.
I can
So
help. That if that's something you need help with, like I can help
yeah,
with that.
for sure.
Okay. Cool.
Um, but yeah, so okay, cool. So that gave me clarity. I'll definitely start working on that, and of course, stuff like this excites me. So, um, let me see what else. So yeah, I've just been
Been closing deals left and right like a mofo. What
yeah,
up?
I had a wave of momentum for sure, and even this like one guy from last month who I talked to, he like just reached out today and then we have a call set for tomorrow and like he ghosted me on the demo, like he didn't show up, but then he's like try calling me today and then reached out and then we end up booking something for tomorrow. So I mean, it feels like something about what I'm saying to these people are kind of, you know, sticking with them in some way. So
Yeah.
um
Do you know why he ghosted and is coming back? Did you
I
get
think
any?
now, like from our last conversation, like they weren't even open yet, but they did seem qualified, but they just weren't open yet. And just based on his past experience with sales, running businesses, that sort of thing, that's where I qualified. But I think like looking at the date now, like I'm pretty sure this is like the time that they were supposed to open. So he's probably like, shoot, I should have just gone with the, you know,
Yeah, gotcha. That's good. Sounds like it'll probably be a close then.
hopefully.
Fingers crossed for you. Okay. What else?
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like so I'm about to launch another semi-glutide ad tomorrow, I believe, for one of the new clients, which I'm excited for. And what's exciting about this one is that she doesn't. So one of the biggest things I'm trying to work with, like when I talk to semi-glutide people, is that a lot of times their competitors are telehealth and people go there because it's cheaper. And so like I'm like, okay, if they don't have like body contouring or anything, then it's hard to incentivize people to go with them over like telehealth. Um, does that make sense?
Yeah, you told me this.
So the person today, she doesn't have any kind of like body contouring or anything, but she does have a med spa where she has like Botox, fillers, that sort of stuff. So what we did with her was um we just had the normal, semaglutide shots, B12 shots, exercise plan, that sort of stuff that you can get from telehealth. But under the bonus, bonuses, we have like $200 voucher, $300 voucher towards the skin services such as Botox, fillers, facials, and then we're offering like glow facials and IV drip on top of that. So this way people may want to buy a package, and the package itself is a good deal compared to like the normal price per week. So that's something I think that's going to be really worth testing out, because I feel like the bonuses alone, people are going to see so much more value in just going in person to them versus something online.
And so, okay, got it. So basically the traditional formula is the ad level we do, but then the package on the back end is like 12 months worth of, injections plus B12 and all stuff. And so now what you're saying is, and body contouring. And now what you're saying is, instead of that, you're offering more traditional Botox and all that stuff as the package instead of
Right, as bonuses. Yeah.
so they're still offering like 12 months of injections, but with like fillers and stuff instead of the other stuff.
Here, let me show you, may give you a little bit more 30. So like here, you'll see that it's still the normal, like it's still the normal semaglutide. So here we would have the body contouring, and this is what would separate them from other online thing. They would have, hey, we're gonna body contour, we're gonna tighten the skin. But but now, since she doesn't have that, this here is kind of the same they can get online essentially. But at least down here, if you start today, you're gonna get, all this for 1,200, plus we're gonna throw in a $200 voucher towards our other medical spa services. And again, I don't know if this will work, but at least, it's not tied in with their goal, but it's a bonus of staying with them.
Can you show me an example of like the ideal case where they do have body contouring and all that stuff, just so I can kind of see what that looks like?
So that would be so I think I have one here. So this would be like muscle sculpting with this. So this would be as part of that in-person journey of the shots, but then because you are coming here, we are gonna do the skin tightening that you're not gonna get anywhere else. And then the bonuses are usually like maybe one or two things outside of that, just to again make it exciting for them. But then
So it's not really about the bonuses. It's really about the thing that you're pairing with so the semaglutide, the B12 shot, and it's that. Okay, I see what you're saying here.
yeah, so this is usually like the thing that helps differentiate. It's like we'll throw in one muscle sculpting a month for every, but like we'll tie it with the value, and we'll tie it with part of the journey. That's like kind of a no-brainer to, like it'd be dumb not to get the muscle sculpting one.
I thought my mind was on the bonuses. It's so now I'm understanding it's not really about the bonus, it's about this thing here. So I understand what you mean in terms of like, okay, so basically what you're trying to say, not trying to say, but like basically what I'm learning from you is, hey, Kaushik, if they don't have body sculpting, here's a solution.
Yeah.
I see. I understand.
So I think that's gonna open, if it works as well as I think it's gonna open up a lot of doors, because
So I think so, because what you're doing is you're offering, if you went back to that slide, you're offering exercise and nutrition. What were you offering?
yeah, so here, not see results. This one, I mean, they're still getting a diet exercise plan. They still get the shots as normal, and then they'll
So
get
where does the diet and exercise plan come from? It comes from the med spa, or how are you
yeah,
getting that?
it comes from her. I mean, she said she has some plans and exercise stuff that she gives. So I think she just download them. And
So if we get med spas in the future who don't have, body contouring, we would need to systematize this, right? We'd have to ensure people get the same diet and exercise plan or whatever from the med
yeah,
spa.
I mean, I feel like even this would actually help make things more systemized, because $200 voucher is just a $200 voucher towards other services, towards cosmetic services. Um, and so yeah, and then I think the biggest thing, another thing is like some people, I'm still trying to figure this out. Some people, they can sell it by week, but then some others can only sell it by month. So if we do like, 97 for their first shot, or do like the first week free and then get them in, and then every week after, or if they get the first week free. Well, the client I'm about to launch this for is about to do a first week free thing. But ideally, like she's able to offer it weekly, right? But then some people, they want to get them in. If I want to get them in for the 1 week free, but then they have to pay for a package to get that 1 week. Like saying they buy the 1 month and then they get the 1 week from there. But like so far I've tried that with like eye candy. She says she doesn't like that because it's like deceiving. But if we do get that down, I feel like I could really have more conviction and sell it.
Hmm. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like most confident when I work with the semaglutide people now. I feel like with Hydrofacial, it's been hard. With Botox, it's been a little bit hard, but I've definitely been seeing progress for those. But I'm just hoping if she's starting to sell packages, and then I can do maybe one or two more people with the semaglutide, then we can really just go all in on that.
Good. Good. Yeah. Let me know how things are going. You said you're launching 2 campaigns this week or one for semaglutide?
I'm launching one for semaglutide, one tomorrow, another launch call tomorrow for IPL lasers. There we may start with the email campaign, and then from there, a few days from that, I'll launch. Um, and then, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, just keep me posted. Let me know how that things go.
yeah, and then I have another Botox one, and then the other semaglutide person that I had closed, she's not starting till like November.
I
Um,
see.
yeah.
So basically we'll have Karen and we'll have one this week. And then that one will be in November for us to learn.
Yeah. And then I do have one client, the one that's here, that was a referral. She has been doing Botox. She's been getting okay results. Like she's gotten bookings and I mean she's doing a little bit better, but again, her biggest thing is that just not getting to the leads fast enough. But we talked about potentially switching to semaglutide if things aren't working as well. So, that
Okay.
could be.
Why did you guys start with Botox instead of semaglutide?
I want to say she either didn't have like the body cavitation thing, or um or she can't offer it weekly. I forgot which one. So it was like easier to start with the 97. But I don't fully remember, or maybe I just didn't sell it hard enough when I did originally talk to her. Versus now I'd probably try to push for the semaglutide stuff more.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get on semaglutide, that would be awesome. Kind of
Yeah.
learn. Okay. What else, man?
I think that's it. Let me see on my numbers. I don't know if you had a chance, but yeah, the Met Spa, the original Met Spa ad has been definitely getting a lot lower tiers. I mean, I've only had like one live discovery call, but just kind of looking at the emails too. Um, like sometimes the email has a website, and a lot of that has been lower tiers. Um, for testimonial, let me see. So live discovery call was like 200 there.
Yo, Amon, real quick, do you have your domain verified on Facebook?
My domain verified on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, so like if you go to Facebook, there's like something called domains, and you can verify your domain. I've seen people do that. It's kind of like a like pocket theory type of thing. I've heard a lot of people say if you verify your domain on Facebook that you get better like high quality leads.
Let
I
me
just
check.
want to throw that in there.
Cool. Let me check. I feel like yeah, I could see that. It'd probably be under business settings, right?
Um, it would be, I don't know, whose screen am I looking at? Oh, I'm looking at GoSheets. Okay. Uh, Let me see really quick. It should be right under like domains, or let me see here. Let me log into my Facebook and I'll tell you.
Also share mine too.
Okay, let's see. Go to integrations. No. Let me find it on mine really
Oh,
quick.
here. Brand.
Yeah, domains. Okay, yeah. So are those where you're running your funnels and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Never mind. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're good. Let's see. Yeah. verify.
Sorry, I'm on. Do you want to share your screen, man? And then we can run through your KPIs.
Share. Okay, so for the hydrofacial funnel, I want to say those two. Yeah, those two. Okay, so yeah, one. So I mean, again, there's only been 200, like 300, so probably just hasn't been. I mean, this one is the one I've been definitely getting the most leads for.
Is this what
But
you're saying has slowed down a little bit?
I think the testimonial ad slowed down, the semaglutide, maybe not the semaglutide. Let's see, this one I'm getting around.
Cost per book call is $70 here. Okay, not too shabby. The testimony ad, what is your cost per book call right now? 31.
It's actually, I guess, wait, is that right?
That means that you've got 7 book calls from.
No, there's no. I think there's 2 book calls and then one live. So here, sorry, this should be 2, and then this should be. Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, 2, and then I had 1 live.
Okay, and then that one is the one that you closed. Okay. Huh. Okay. Okay. So
Sorry, I
$100.
think-
Let's look at the
I think
hydrofacial.
I just copied all this over, so this is for this month. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So the stuff from the month before, is that accurate data? Or is that not accurate data?
I want to say this one's accurate. Maybe just the pending ones are. Yeah, no, this should be accurate.
So basically, in the month of September, you had 7 book calls. You had 4 live discovery calls. You had
This
one
might be-
close. You had 1 close in September.
Yeah. I picked I think there was one that was supposed to move forward. Let me see. Leads testimonial from last. Oh wait, was this test? No, that was testimonial. See. Oh, was she from testimonial? Oh, okay, this one, and then I believe Dr. Zaidi. Yeah, so I got 2 closes from that. So that's
And that's the testimonial. Okay, so we got 2 closes, 2 acquisitions. Okay, and then let's scroll back up. So September got 2 closes. Your cost per book call.
I don't know
Oh,
why this should
111.
be. Oh no, she didn't pay 3. She didn't pay for 3 months, so she paid 1,250. So it was 2,250. So that's how much cash is collected.
So cost per book call is a little bit. So I guess what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, honestly, the cost per book call looks pretty normal. Um,
Well, your cost per book call for hydrofacial, I mean, yeah. So I guess like relative to if
previous.
it so for this one, your cost per book call is like, 35, $25. Um, so I guess, yeah, going back to testimonial one, I guess like what are your thoughts on the testimonial ad KPIs?
I want to say I
You feel
feel like those are better quality.
so that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, because I even for the hydrofacial, it's just so many spas that like offer hydrofacial, but they're not like true like med spas. Whereas I feel like testimonial ad tends to get I
So we
remember I saw a Facebook comment that summed it perfectly. I gotta find it, but
so we spent how much we spent. Um, do you want to do you have a totals column?
yeah, that's this one. It's just not updated or it's not like connected properly.
Okay, so if we go to 29, if you want to go and just throw that in there real quick.
29. Oh,
We'll sum.
what was it? C. was it like?
I just highlight like the entire row. So we spent $1,000. What is the revenue? The revenue is 8,000. Yeah, so numbers are healthy, right? So 2x cash collected, 8x return on spend. Like, that's looking healthy to me. So, what are your thoughts? Like, what should we do? Like, do you think that there's anything we should do different? Are you planning on what is the cost per book call again right now? Sorry.
109.
Okay. Thing necessary that we need to do here.
I would
Yeah.
say the I mean, like from from the page, I wonder if we're turning off people when they just see like 90 HydraFacial in 9 days because they may not have it versus if we just did like 90. I mean, if we did like either 90 injection patients or 90 just med spa patients in 90 days. Like I wonder if like all things aside, like not even just the form, call up on there, but
This is the testimonial ad, and the testimonial ad is going to the HydraFacial page.
yeah, even this one's I mean this one's going to the HydraFacial page.
So this is not going to the semaglutide page.
No, I don't think so.
Oh wow. Okay. I thought that this was the one that was. I thought this was going to the semaglutide page.
No, there are I think there are some same ads that are going to the semaglutide. So the semaglutide ones may have some of the same ads, and then that leads to the semaglutide page.
So the testimonial ad, that's the one with Karen who that was the original one with Karen where she's talking about having $8,000 days, right? Okay. So that testimonial ad is going into the HydraFacials funnel, the 2 closes that you had. So you've had how many closes from that? 2 or 3?
Had 2.
Okay, those 2 are these semaglutide clients or no?
No, one was focuses on IPL, and then I think the other one does like Botox, and we're
Okay.
doing.
So the semaglutide funnel, are you running Karen's ad to the semaglutide funnel or not?
No.
You're not, you are?
And yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, let me see if I can show you. So
So how is that doing? So do we have any closes from this? The semaglutide funnel?
I think we just have that one that's in November. And then I had a few like really good demo calls, like with like tier 3 people. It just
Let's go back to the semaglutide funnel KPIs. Okay, what is our cost per book call? Our cost per book call is $58. Okay, so let me ask you this. Why are we doing Karen's testimonial ad? Like why do you have a separate tab?
because let me see. Let me just make sure that's what I'm doing because I think the testimonial ad. Okay, yeah, these are testimonial ad are going towards. I just want to be sure that it's going to the. Yeah. I think just because it was just my normal funnel, and then the one tweak I made was just trying a testimonial out.
I see. So what we're doing here is as I'm looking at the ad right now, the ad says she's growing her med spa to 87 per month. So the angle there is the revenue angle. It's not like a HydraFacial angle. Can I have a look at the ad that you're doing that's going to the HydraFacial? I'm sorry, the semaglutide funnel.
Yeah, so I think so I'll show that in a second. I think this one is she booked 40 new patients and yeah, so I just kind of kept it generic. Let me show you.
So those are 2 different ads. Both of those ads are going into the HydraFacial funnel.
So yeah. And then this one, the winning ad is yeah. Results, yeah, this one here, which is 4 or 5 packages a day.
Okay, so I see what you're doing. So basically you have the exact same video. You're just changing the headline a little bit. One is going to, I see what you're doing. Okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, so I guess my question is, yeah, I don't know. I guess what my question is.
I mean, the numbers don't look too bad from I
I think what it boils down to is if we look at if we look at your Excel sheet from Hydrofacial's funnel KPI, and we look at your cost per like qualified lead versus the cost per qualified lead from the testimonial ad, the question becomes, is it the same or is it better?
Right.
That's
So-
gonna ultimately decide.
Yeah, like last month, I like there was just like the surge of like really good leads, and then it just kind of stopped after that. I didn't make any changes to that testimonial ad. Let me see. So it's around 218 for that currently, 195 before, which is pretty close to the 185 we're seeing here. And then for here, 233. So these are higher. I mean, this was by week at this point, but this seems to be a lot higher. So, you know,
So which one is the highest? Is this one, right? So what is your tier 3 average? If you want to do the average one on the left.
the
Versus-
percent or average.
Versus 9.08. Yeah, what is the average? Is that the average?
No, I think I was doing. How do you do like it's just average?
I think so. I don't know exactly what the function is, but it's like average something, then you highlight all of them. Yeah, try that.
There we go.
So it's 206 through this, and then let's go into testimonial ad.
Two oh seven, and then yeah, I was trying to do it manually. Average. $223.
Okay. So your semaglutide and the testimonial ads, both of those sheets, the number is lower.
Yeah, I guess so.
207, and then the semaglutide one is 206. So yeah, those are, you know. So I don't see anything jumping out at me. I'm just curious why you had the testimonial ads KPI Excel sheet where I don't think you necessarily need it. Unless I'm missing something here.
I guess because I am testing like a different format,
I
right?
see. So like talking head type of stuff.
Right.
That's kind of like, hey, I want to just keep this data separate and kind of see like what does talking head versus this do? Okay, that's fair.
So I wonder if like one for the normal MedSpa ads, should we try something? I mean, again, maybe we don't even touch it, but like 90 or 90 MedSpa patients in 90 days, or we work for free.
Wait, so what do you say in terms of changing what variable?
So for the MedSpa, the hydrofacial, this one,
Mhm.
like the ad is not really hydrofacial based, but then when they go onto the page, it's like 90 hydrofacials in 90 days. So for that, should we make it maybe like 90 med spa patients in 90 days? Or what do you like? I guess for me, should I try to spend more on like the different ones?
What problem are we trying to solve for here?
I think, I mean, I know for the med spa ads, like for that, I mean, I guess first I thought my numbers were not looking good, but it seems like it is. So yeah. Um, I mean, yeah, I would just say the biggest thing is like I feel like I'm constantly dealing with like little like spas or something for the med spa ads. Usually for the testimonial and for the semaglutide, I feel like I'm getting much better quality.
So what I would do is this. I am still on the same mental. I'm still gonna say the same thing, which is just like going to counter page and just tweak up one of those.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we should change
Wow.
the headline over adding anything to the form.
I'm worried about changing the headline because I'm worried that results are going to drastically change.
Right.
But it's possible. It's possible. Like, here's my thing: is like both of those could be right. We just
Right.
don't know. And my thing is like, my thing is this. It goes back thing. It's like if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So
Right.
if you change the headline, it could drastically just break everything. versus if you just change the calendar question, it could, I feel like, marginally affecting. And it sounds to me like you want a marginal benefit. It sounds to me like, hey, I'm already getting book calls, I'm getting things. I just want to decrease the number of like bad quality leads. So how do we do that? Is slightly shifting the calendar, I think. But it's also just possible that we just, again, we could try the headline thing. We could try that and see how that goes.
Right.
It's a testing thing. I don't think yeah, it's just a testing thing. I've kind of like just shared my theory with you of like what my experience has been. My experience is like, yeah, I'm very conservative, I guess, if that's the right word. Whenever something works, I'm very conservative to
Right.
to make big changes to it.
Right.
And so I feel like a change to calendar is a very conservative thing to do when you have something that's already working.
Yeah. I think a big part of it was just like the essence of attracting more hydrofacial people, because I feel like it is actually just attracting more hydrofacial people in general. And so like I feel like that's almost like the lower thing on my list of like where I really want to go in on. So I feel like even if it was like Botox, I feel like that would be better than, going the hydrofacial route. So that's kind of also where,
That's the case. If that's the case, if you're like, hey, I don't, even if I get a tier 3 hydrofacial person, like I would rather not, then yeah, change the headline, I would say.
okay. Because I feel like Botox, they almost always have other med spa service I've seen, unless
see
it's
what-
first injector. Whereas hydrofacial, it's like you can be like a day spa and have a hydrofacial.
I see what you're saying. So it's like if your ad says, hey, we help people with cameras, then it's going to attract both videographers and photographers.
Right.
Versus what you're saying is, hey, just straight up be like, hey, we help people that shoot movies.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
And the funny thing is, because I was just so naive of this when I first did it, was when I was modeling after Aaron,
Didn't know that.
yeah, like he had Botox patients, and
Oh,
then I was like, yeah, and then I was like, oh, I don't want to copy him word for word, so I tweaked up one thing. I was like, oh, that's the other mess
oh.
about.
So
Versus now I'm like, why? Yeah, I get why we model closely.
holy shit, I didn't know that. That's so crazy. I thought his was hydrofacials and you're modeling his.
I think
Oh, damn.
pretty sure, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so in that case, yeah, let's make that tweak.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you for giving me that bit of intel. That's very important intel.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't shared that long time ago. Maybe it's yeah, I'm a slow learner.
No,
So
you're good. That's me. I should have asked. I should
no,
have.
there's no way to be honest. So
Okay.
um because I think you were under the assumption that I just modeled every single thing. And I did for the most part. And then it was just like, okay, I don't want to copy too, like, I want to have just a
Okay.
random different without even knowing.
I see. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
see if we could find, because I'm pretty sure I did like capture like everything. Like remember when we were like first building out, you had like send me like the original screen recording of just like his ad, his funnel, that sort of thing. So I think I may have.
What you could do if I'm under so now that I understand this, it's literally that you could take your ad that we have, which is like, hey, here this ad right here, and we could drive that ad to a calendar page that says 90 Botox 90 days, 90 semaglutide 90 days, all these different things that we want to sub niche into.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that way, yeah, it's almost like attacking it harder, but we're just getting different sub.
So if I were you, I feel like the smarter move is instead of so you take your ad, this ad right here, and instead of going to like 90 customers in 90 days, we go specifically into 90 Botox in 90 days or some shit.
Yeah.
Big thing that
And
you've actually figured out.
we can do like 90 IPL in 90 days or something like that.
You figured out. Yeah, that would be a better move.
So in that case, since hydrofacial somewhat works, should I do
So
like
breaking it down even further, here's what I would do if I were you. I would have this ad right here goes to Botox, semaglutide, this. And then I would also have another creative or maybe one of 3 creatives. And so so you have this top of funnel ad for every single funnel. And then you have a middle of funnel ad, which would be like Karen's semaglutide stuff, and that would go to the semaglutide funnel. You'd have another testimonial ad, which would be Botox, and that would go to the Botox funnel. So now you have a tofu and mofu for every single funnel.
Right. So we have the basic one and then Karen's for the semaglutide and then yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would do things.
So I obviously for Karen's I'll be easy. I could just set that up. So obviously I have that for top of funnel and then I can also set up you're saying like I can also set up a middle of funnel for that specific campaign. Yeah, I mean I could do that because even if people like I don't have like a Botox testimonial right now, but I mean it's still
But, I mean, what I would honestly do is, I mean, I my view on Facebook is, but like I would have both in one ad set. I would have like the generic ad and I would have Karen's ad as top of funnel, and then I would have another ad set, literally the exact same ads for middle funnel. It would just be
Yo,
smaller.
boys, I just closed a 3K deal.
damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's go.
damn, why you promise?
Bro, I pitched a 4K deal today too. I think I'm actually gonna close that one as well.
Okay. Is this one of is this somebody that signed up for Lauren? Is this through your Instagram or is this the other Instagram?
Other Instagram.
Lauren's Instagram?
I'm not running any follower ads for my Instagram though.
So this is from Lauren's Instagram and you did
Yeah.
the sales call?
I didn't do that one, but the 4K is gonna be mine.
Okay.
So if she's gonna close a 3, I'm gonna close a 4.
Okay, gotcha. So she just closed the 3K one just now.
Yeah. So like I know you have I'm sorry to cut you off, Amon, but like you have access to my what's it called? My KPI tracker on the left because I'm running DM ads and I'm running follower ads right now, and I've categorized which people are coming from where right now as well. So I think one of them, it's really weird, dude. One of them is being closed from follower, and I think one's gonna be closed from IGDM, which is gonna make it still hard to decision, but I just wanted to share. Because I was having a really fucking shitty day, boys. Like it's really shitty day. But now this is helping me out. So
Congrats.
Yeah, man. Good shit.
I love it. Just like
Right now. It's crazy.
everyone. I love when people just hop in like, yo, I just made some money. Like, yo, that's what's up, fam. It's so fucking fun. Hearing people close deals like, yo, bro, I just made some bands. This Wi-Fi money, bro. Like, hell yeah, bro. Congrats. All right. I sound like a doofus. Anyways.
Congrats, man. It's awesome.
But yeah, I'm in like and by the way, what I'm saying to you is like in terms of ad strategy, ad setup, like don't stress too much about that. I'm not even saying to necessarily do that. The main thing is like these 3 different funnels. That's the core thing to understand. I think that's the most important thing. And then
So
to
yeah, should the one change I make to the ad would be change of the headline and see it there, or are you still kind of feeling
which one are we messing with, first of all?
this ad right here to the hydrofacial funnel?
So for that one, what I would do is this. So I would change up the counter page to say, what do you want to do? Botox? What are you trying to go for right now?
I think I mean ideally weight loss, but I don't think that would make sense for weight loss. It'd probably be like Botox, or you could say like Botox.
Well, we already have a weight loss one, don't we? We already have the semaglutide.
Yeah,
one.
yeah, we do. So yeah, Botox probably.
So yeah, so if we're doing the original funnel, change the headline.
Let me just see something real quick. Just a second. I think the winning ad is hydrofacial, so yeah, that's gonna be too many variables now. Because it was originally TikTok plus AI. That was the original one that was winning. And then I think after a while, this one was just eating it all up.
So why did you end up creating this one when you had the original? Is it because the original stopped working?
Yeah, I think the original was stopped working, but that could have also just been the whole pixel tracker thing too.
Okay, so what I would do is step 1, change the title on the counter page. Step 2, I would try to maybe turn back on the old ad to go to this page. And then step 3 is to just replace the 90 hydrofacials headline with, 90 Botox in 90 days. That's it.
Let me see. Because if this is the original one, should I maybe also turn this back on because it's already there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then if this is starting to get traction, then we can change the headline. Because I feel like for me it wasn't making sense. I was getting all these hydrofacial people. But then now it makes sense because they're seeing it from the ad level.
Hmm. Okay. So yeah, so the new lead, the one that you have a check next to, I would turn that on. That would go to your calendar page, but your calendar page again, you got to make sure you tweak it, right?
Yeah, but wouldn't that be two variables? Should we just try turning this on, see if I'm getting some people from this ad, and then if I am, then make the tweak. So
I
that
s-
way that's in one variable.
Yeah. So why did you initially turn this off?
I just think the results were starting to go down, or maybe I think I was just not getting a bunch of results. I also like had lower spend and the whole pixel tracker thing wasn't um really set. So I think that was maybe a big part of it. Um
I see what you're saying. Do one variable at a time. I mean, that makes sense. I would just say like you might still get some hydrofacials, right?
yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm
So
already getting
your thought process, let's turn on this original ad, just see if it works. If it does work, then the next stage is then I'm going to tweak up with the text on this page. Well, if the end all be all is going to be you're going to tweak this anyways, I mean, I understand that's fine. You can do that.
let me see here. So if I click on here, this is the TikTok. Yeah, this was doing really good before. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I just don't want to turn that on and then I tweak up the headline and then something stops working and then we're like, shoot, was it turning on the old ad? Or unless you don't think like, yeah, there's no way it was just turning on.
No, what you're saying makes sense. Let's do it that way.
Okay, cool. So yeah, in the meantime, I'll try to look into the AI caller thing. I'll yeah, I'm trying to think what else, and then I'll turn on that old ad, see how that goes. Um, trying to think what else. Oh, did you happen to see the ad that I had sent? Probably
Yep.
didn't have to watch it.
I left you a comment on it, I think.
Oh, okay.
Um, the one with Karen, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't see it. Cool. Yeah, I'll listen to it later.
Yeah, basically all I said was like so where would this go? You would test this to the semaglutide funnel or the
Probably
gen
to I mean, this one was pretty like generic, so I feel like you can test it on a normal funnel. Maybe this one we can even test on like a just a normal like I don't know. I don't know yet, but
either, I mean, test it in both if you want to.
yeah.
I don't think running an ad to, here's the thing. I don't think running an ad to a 90 med spa clients in 90 days is beneficial,
Yeah.
right? Because that's going to add more complexity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all I said in that voice note was that you can, in the gray space, you can put your head in there. You can put your video in there if you wanted. That's why I pasted in the voice note. But I said it's worth testing. So we can test that, go to the hydrofacials, and we can go to the semaglutide and test it, see what happens.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll let you know before I make any final decisions. But as far as other one, I'll turn on the old TikTok plus AI and just see if it gets any ad spend. And if it does, then great. We can, take it from there.
Yeah, man. Numbers, everything looks good. I don't see anything jumping out at me. Everything's looking great.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Anything else that's burning your head, bro?
No, I think that's it.
Cool. All right. Well, if that is everything, my man, I'll see you next time we chop it up next week or whenever you decide to hop on again, okay?
Cool. Sounds good.